Hey, Dai-san here. Today I am bringing you a discussion about the JP tier list. So, if you ever been to the Discord or been to the Reddit, you will see that there has always kind of been a tier list made and posted up. So what happens is normally I and some few others work on a tier list. We put units based on how we think they are, and then they get sorted best to worst. So today we're gonna go behind an explanation about the reasoning of why things get placed in a certain tier or not, and hopefully this in-depth dive will kind of clarify any questions people have. Right now, we are going to do units all the way up to Slimeko, who is the newest unit out. So this video might get dated in the future. With me is Akane, who was one of the original people who helped on the very first iteration of the tier list. Normally, I would like to have a few other people, but due to time constraints, it's just us two for now. The current tier list that we will make will probably change up and down through more feedback, because the tier list is a collaborative effort from many people with different opinions. That way, you kind of gauge a larger pool than just one person's kind of opinion. Alright, cool. Welcome, Akane.
Thanks for the introduction. And yeah, that is pretty much everything, because it kind of gives us a way of showing you guys on how we rank units and like our thought process. I think people just think, that unit's at the top just because he has 4 MP attack or AoE attack or something stupid like that. And yeah, as Dai said, we would prefer more people here, but with timings of everyone, it's like really difficult. So yeah, like the tier list will probably change like once you get more feedback. But this is just me and Dai's feedback from the start, I guess. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy.
Yeah. We're gonna start. So tier list is gonna be just like the current tier list up. It's gonna be S to D, S to D. There is gonna be no triple S. I am not a huge fan of triple S as a tier, because it just gets really stupid with 1 or 2 units at the top and then like a bunch of overflow. I think there's not too huge of a gap between like really good units and really good units. Okay, so we're just gonna go do by character order. That means it's gonna be all the Ainz units, then the Albedo units, and then it's gonna do all the collabs, and after that it's gonna do new releases.
Yeah,
all the way up to, I think, Hot Springs.
There are a few other Ainzes around there, like wet Ainz and stuff like that, but we'll get to them when we get to them, basically.
Yeah.
It's just the order how it is on the screen from top left to right.
It happens.
Yeah.
So, I don't want this video to be like, 3 hours long, so let's be a bit quick about stuff. So, if you were to count, A and B as to be kind of like the middle tiers, then I'd say the original Ainz would definitely be like A tier. Because like his stats hold up, I think, to this day.
I think like in S tier, like I there's no like 5 MP AoE unit anymore that I can imagine that's like S tier. No. Off the top of my head. So like he's still like good all round. Like, and his stats are still actually insane.
Yeah, his speed is really good for an attacker. His defense holds up. His attack is about like 200, 300 short. I was gonna say, do you want to spend a moment explaining about what we mean when we say average attack, average defense, and stuff?
So usually with like units, when we look at units, like for example, this Ainz is an attacker unit. So we've kind of worked out like not worked out, like what we view is an attack stat that is like a good attacking number, I guess. Well, I think it's like 8,200 or 8,100 or something like that now.
Yeah. So
So he's a little bit below, but he's still very high. But like his HP and defense and speed are like above average for an attacker.
I'll say his HP is average.
His HP is average, yeah, but his defense and speed are a bit above average for an attacker unit, because they usually seem to be a bit more less tanky. And the speed stat, we kind of look at 400 and above is like average and better, I guess.
Yeah. I think 400 is like a good speed for an attacker, because normally all the new enhancers, they're about like 430 and higher.
Yeah.
So you just want something a bit below that. Alright. I don't think we'll be going deeply into like each character page depending on, but like I feel this was a good time to kind of you know, give an example.
Briefly go over the stat distribution.
Yeah, maybe later on, I'll also post with this like a chart with what like we view as like good stat blocks for different types. Like an enhancer should have about like 430 plus speed. Attackers should have about 400 for like averages, and like attack averages for attackers and enhancers should be this and this. So maybe I'll post it up later too, to give more context to this list. Alright,
that's not included passives.
Yeah. Next one, Momon, base Momon. I actually flipped this one. Like,
yeah, I can't remember what he got after his buff. His attack's okay, but as you can see, like his stats compared to OG Ainz are like a lot less besides his base attack. But his skills are like pretty shocking, right? Yeah. That like that skill isn't even a nuke anymore. Like people with 5 MP skills now are doing like freaking 200 to 300% damage. So
yeah,
I would say like a D tier, C tier, like a generous C tier, I would say.
I'm gonna be less generous. All he does is hits things hard single targetly, and he doesn't even do that well. Like it's not even as good as a multi hit, and the multi hit's like 4 MP. So like
I would actually agree with you, and because you got to think as well, he's like the only Ainz unit that's like he's the worst one. I'm pretty sure. So like if you have like the units, like why would you ever use this one over the other Ainz? Like the other 9 or 8 Ainzes that he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, D tier.
Yeah, next one.
Mastines.
Mastines.
He got a buff.
Yeah.
Well, not recently, but like he's been buffed.
He's pretty much like a 2 MP flame spam, and then he's still got that AoE seal, but like
Seal is like B tier probably.
Status.
His stats are pretty good though, right?
Oh no, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
His stats are really solid.
They're like rivaling OG Ainz, right?
He's faster because he's an enhancer, right? He's got a bit about the same HP, a much more defensive stats for less attack. If you do look at him though, he is a strong fire nuker because he can nuke fire for pretty much forever.
Yeah.
And then he's got a good self buff if you need it.
Yeah.
Fire shipping, magic reduction.
I would say he's a B tier personally. Like, I feel like the AoE is 6 MP. That's a little bit too much to be an A tier, unless it's like a nuke. And then he's single target. Like, I know it's 2 MP, but like, yeah, there's just other. Yeah, well, we'll get into the next one now. So like, there's other fire units that does his job. But yeah, he's not a bad unit. He's in the middle range, I guess. He's got good stats as well.
So pretty much, if we look at this one, this is more in line with current attackers in the game. Good HP value, a bit above average attack stat, 85, pretty high, 400 higher. Defense is average with 3,300, so it's pretty much defense range for attacking units is between like 3,000 and like I guess 33, right? I'd say is the cutoff, and then anything higher than that is like above average. And then the speed is average at 402, which is good.
Yeah.
So he has really strong stats, right? Thing is, he has this Demon Killer, which I hate. He has a decent buff. I don't think Demon Killer is a good skill at this ratio. I think you have to go to an extreme for Demon Killer.
Well, they've started doing like 100% killers, so 30% is a bit out of touch now, out of line.
Yeah. And then this is his like bread and butter skill, which I don't even think is that good for flame skill. And he has fire strength and all this. This is really just underwhelming overall.
I personally would pick Mastines over that, personally.
Yeah, and that's why he's going to go below Mastines.
Very valiant. Good old Barf Ainz. Nude Ainz.
Oh, yeah, no. I feel like we are going to have to go, like, click everyone's fucking profile real quick. This is going to be,
That's fine. Yeah, defense good, HP okay for an enhancer, not amazing.
That's good. That's on par. That's on par.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like average. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. He's slow.
Yeah, but like
he's not that slow, but he's slow-ish.
Yeah, for an enhancer, definitely because you want them to act fast first.
Yeah, but his kit all around is very flexible.
Yep.
I would say like he can do pretty much anything you need. He can deal damage, well, AoE farming, and then he can buff, attack, he can debuff. not debuff.
Nope.
Sorry, he can buff defense. Sorry, is
I
what
actually
meant
don't
to
like
say.
this. The damage reduction overrides your tank's
Yeah.
damage reduction, so that's gonna kind
But
of.
I mean, for like raids, it's pretty good, I guess, because of the crit buff. But there's way better crit buffers out there.
Yeah, and for 5
But
MP,
he's
it's
got
not really worth it.
yeah, he's got that flexibility, I guess, and that attack buff is actually really strong. Technically,
Yeah.
that is actually really strong for 4 MP.
Hmm.
Yeah. Overall, I think he's a pretty decent unit. Personally, I would probably put him like high A tier, low S tier, but I think low S tier has been a bit generous. But that's just my view. I'd probably say he's like near the top of A tier.
Yeah.
With the units that we've got now and probably coming out in the future with buffs and stuff.
Yep. Ainz. Ainz. So like.
D tier. Oh no, never mind.
Oh, we gotta speed through these ones. What can I say? Really strong debuff at a cheap cost. Pretty good buff, being the premier magic crit buffer in the game. AOE for 4 MP for farming. The passives nowadays is actually disappointing with only defense and magical attack. But if he gets a buff, he'll be really strong in the future. His speed is really good. His defense is really good. His HP and his attack. All of these are like huge values for an enhancer. And like as a statistic beast, he's definitely up there. Like holy cow, man! Like no one realizes like why he's still so good. Like look at these stats.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Yep.
OG Albedo. Moving on from Ainz now.
Yeah.
What was her buff? Wasn't it something stupid like her AoE attack got like lowered MP or something like that, right?
Yeah, what happened with it is her stuff is now 5/5 MP, so she can technically work as a farmer. Air quote farmer.
I know.
Yeah.
Not really. Yeah. She's unique because I don't think too many people have sleep like anymore.
No,
like,
there's only like 3 units of sleep. It's her, it's Summer Entoma, and it is Shizu, Christmas Shizu. I think there might be
like
one.
a little bit of uniqueness with that, but again, like her kit overall is just not that good, and stats as well. Like her speed is way below average. Her HP is near enough average. Like if you're generous, attack is low, and defense is high, like defense is like her best stat, right? Yeah. But then that's about it. That 2 MP skill damage skill was pretty good, but like, you know, I think we've worked out that skill percentage or skill damage buff is not actually as good as it looks.
It is on certain things. It's like different between single target and AoE. So like stuff like that. It's really weird.
So yeah, I personally would probably put her in C tier. Sorry.
Yeah, bottom of C tier.
That'd be my view personally. Like, even as a 5 MP AoE unit, she's like definitely one of the weakest. So like, C tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nazarick Albedo. You just want to move her up now?
Yeah. So like she's one of the premier tanks in the game. I don't even want to do a deep dive, but like if you look at this, high defense, high HP, lowish speed. Not bad for a tank, but like tanks are naturally kind of a bit on the slow end. But like not bad for like a tank speed, but like still not ideal. The attack is low, but it doesn't matter. She has debuffs on her first skill. She has a stacking shield on her second skill. Her taunt gives cover and 200% provoke. Also gives counter. She has some additional speed on her passes to make up for her lackluster speed stat, which pushes her to about like 400, which is not bad. And then she has starting provoke, so that even if you need to set up your taunt or whatever, you have time to set up without worrying about aggro being misled. Same thing with the immunity stack, so when you do get hit, it's not so awful. She gets stronger when she's on low HP, which helps a bit. And then her Wall of Jericho is only good after OD3, because it's 10% at OD1. So it kind of screws you until it goes up. I think it increases by 17% per level. So after OD3, you have an actual decent reduction.
Yeah. I think with her, with the starting with provoke, it actually is quite good in combination with her other passive, because she's immune to physical and magic attack.
Yeah.
So it's not like, because you know how sometimes you want to use your taunt to get like the defense or damage reduction on that, you know.
Yeah.
You can't really use it with the standard. So it's actually pretty good. She's a very good unit. Probably the best tank, if not one
It
of
helps you in
the
HUD
best
content
tanks.
because you're not immediately praying for RNG not to hit your tank unless you got Naofumi, which will automatically tank for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
RNGesus.
Yeah, and
Next
then
one.
we have
Bride Albedo.
Yeah, no. She's one of the earliest units in the game that haven't got buffed. So like obviously she'll be in Dio due to like 2 years passing.
Yeah. She's got like nothing good about her at all.
Yeah, we're not even gonna open that page.
Oh,
Next,
Jesus
Tristis
Christ.
Albedo. She's on the polarizing end. I will open this page up, cause it's.
This is like an improved Nazarick Ainz in a way.
Yeah. So like the stats got buffed up to be just as good as his, if not better, and then you have a overdrive charging first attack. So it gives about quarter gauge for 2 MP. You have the AoE and the debuff rolled into one skill, and then you have a buff on the third skill that matches Ainz, except that instead of crit, you get all parameters. So it helps magic and physical teams. The only downside is all parameter buffs only stack up to 30%. So this is not stacked twice, unlike Ainz's, which the magic and the crit will stack if you cast it again. Same thing with Ainz. She's got like a defensive skill and attack skill, except the ratios are a lot better. That's pretty much it. Not much else to say.
Yeah, she's basically improved Ainz.
Yeah.
Better looking as well.
Debatable. Anyways, Shalltear, like I said, like
Shalltear is she's got nothing good. Like every stat she has is way below average. Her whole kit is just super expensive. There's nothing you can really say to defend her besides her overdrive is reasonably okay. Okay, I won't try and defend her, but it's okay. But it's like such a small part of her kit. So she's C tier.
D tier, not even.
D tier. Sorry. And now Valk Shalltear.
That one.
Like a bit more improved version of that.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Like speed 393. Not the worst. It's a bit below average, but that's fine because she has above average attack stat. Defense and HP are like HP is a bit low, but like not too much, and the defense is like on par. And then her skill set's not awful. A strong self buff for 2 MP. She has her vampiric heal, which is nice for when you do need to relieve pressure off a healer. Then she's got this giant shining undead elemental thing. So if they're weak to shining or the undead, this will nuke. And then her passives increase the nuking capabilities of them, and then more damage. And then same thing with her OD. So she's very good at her specific roles of being an undead / shining attacker. And then
like her typing plus her element plus the affiliation bonus, like the undead killer. Like they're all combined because a lot of undead are intelligence. So she's going to do more damage because of typing, and they're usually they take more damage from shining anyway. So this is like very good combination of skills, I would say.
Yeah.
Especially for raids.
I'd say A tier.
Yeah, I would agree.
Near the top of A tier. Not as good as like a general buffer. And she's like a lot of niche units who are really good at one specific thing are going to end up in A tier, especially if they're really good at it, right? And then we can just jump to the next Shalltear unit. This is Mass Shalltear. She is a AoE healer, and she was limited to a event in JP in the past, and like hardly anyone has her. So we're not gonna delve too deep into her because I think if anyone's starting the game, we'll like never see this unit. But she's not that good.
She's really like bad. Her heal is like she had a nice kit, but they just like ruined her whole kit, if that makes sense. Like she had an AoE heal, she had an AoE damage and a decent single target skill, and they just made it expensive and like low elemental rates, low healing. Like it's just it could have been really good. Like those three in.
I don't think they have a good buffer. Like not like
no, I don't. There's no reason for her unless they bring her out again.
Yeah.
So C D tier. I keep thinking C tier is the lowest. Next one, Bride Albedo. Yeah, that is like the worst character in the game.
Yeah, really expensive costs, like really subpar stats, really awful. Not a fan. I am more of a fan of this next Shalltear coming up, and if we open her up, this is the Valentine's Day Shalltear. So she has an OD gain skill like Albedo does, right? She has
Mhm.
a AoE, same thing as Albedo, except it's magic shred. Doesn't offer all the other shreds, but it also does like decent damage with its scaling. And then she has a defensive skill buff, which is 30% magic reduction, immunity shield to physical one stack. This isn't horrible. I think this is actually like a really good defensive buff. She's like the poor man's Albedo. Passive is a crit,
Mm.
dark strength, and magic attack speed. So she's really fast, like deathly
Mm.
fast. She's like 490 speed.
Yeah.
So like as a buffer debuffer, like she's like budget Albedo, except that instead of the all buff, you get a defensive buff that costs a lot. And then instead of like a really good shred, you get like a poorer shred, right? So like I can't imagine
Yeah.
her being like super fucking lower. I'd still say like she makes A tier.
Yeah, I'd say A tier at like a minimum, but I wouldn't say she's like near the top personally.
Oh
Like
no,
I
near
would
the
say she's
bottom of A
like
tier.
in yeah. So like she's not bad, but like it's a nice kit to have, but it's just not good
Yeah,
ratios if that makes sense.
yeah.
It's quite situational is the word
So
I'm
I'm
looking
just
for.
gonna move Cocytus up because we're gonna go through other Cocytus units now, and also
Oh, that's exciting.
uh excitingly
OG Cocytus.
excitingly disappointing. Let's go. Yeah, no,
Oh
there's only
god.
like 4 Cocytuses. Makes me sad, man. Shit speed, like low defense, low attack, low HP. This boy is just suffering, man. This boy
We
is
need more cock.
pretty much
That's
that.
what we need.
Pretty much that. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. D
You know
tier.
what?
I
At
mean,
least
there's
he
not
hits
much to
harder.
say. Like,
That's
I think
bad.
someone pointed out though, like he's a 5 MP skill is actually reasonably high, like
Yeah.
ratios, but his stats in general are just so bad.
Yeah.
Like, and 339 speed, dude, that is like minus points. There's like no way you can get minus points when you're ranking units besides having like such bad speed.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're Naofumi. But
Yeah. Even then.
yeah, the poor guy, I don't know what they done that to him for.
Yeah.
No love for cock.
Can we explain buffer overflow? This buffer overflow tab, this is just so that the tier list doesn't reset the bottom tier. Because if you update it with new units, it'll pull out all units in the bottom tier. So if you set up an empty tier on the bottom, it won't just like eviscerate all of them, and then you redo it each time. All right, next one, Mighty Cock.
Mighty.
He's probably the best one, and then he's like the worst of the best ones too. So it's like, he is a single target ice attacker. That's pretty much all you use him for. He does have this shield for himself with an attack buff, but it costs like 5. Honestly,
too expensive.
He's on the list of units to get buffed. So like this could realistically be 2 MP, because it honestly doesn't cost that much. Nowadays, right? If it's 5 MP, like this is a team wide buff at this point. But like I said, he is a relic of the past, really, with this awful 6% skill damage, right? So
even his ice damage skill is 4 MP. Like that's so expensive. People do that much damage that he has there for free. 3 MP.
Yeah.
So like C tier for me personally.
Yeah, it's
like
a very
he'd be
top...
like either top of C tier or like very bottom of B tier.
Bottom of B tier. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like no other debate.
Dude, I feel bad because the other 2 cocks is gonna go into C tier as well.
Yeah. That's just the life of a cock. Green cock.
Average attack.
Ruler.
Low HP, average speed, bit low but average speed, average defense. So all around his stats are like decent because he's a Nazarick Fest unit as well. The thing is his unique gimmick of having an AoE physical attack. So when he attacks, he hits everyone. Good resistances. His first skill is just a damage skill that for 2 MP. Increase towards 1 target. So it's kind of a shame because I'm pretty sure if there's multiple enemies, his regular attack outskills this. Self buff, pretty decent self buff. 6 MP AoE to enemies with a high elemental rate, shred speed, and
the thing is, when they buffed this unit with that AoE skill, that was actually quite high, those ratios, right?
Yeah.
But now that they've started bringing out new units and buffing other units, like them ratios for 6 MP is like really bad. Like they're doing that for 4 MP units. Like Yuri is basically doing that.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to later on. For 4 MP with a defense debuff rather than speed. So yeah, they done him dirty, like with his buff.
Yeah. And then
yeah.
Last one is event Ainz. 1 strike, 1 kill. This was pretty much a event cock that we got, and then he is never been buffed, and he kind of suffers from like 5 MP AoE, like 4 MP single target ice, like okayest passives. But the big issue about this is like one, he's a mixed typing unit, right? So physical, magical. Two, his stats aren't awful. So if they do buff him, I do see him becoming a very strong unit. But like he suffers from like a power typing and then like ice attacks, and then like he's trying to do a bit of everything and he does it like poorly.
Yeah. I don't know why they do that, like with the typing and elemental being different on each unit, like power and ice. You know, like just keep it the same. Like it just makes sense. Like just make someone like absolutely nuke. Why are you doing him dirty like that?
Yeah.
So yeah, he needs to be buffed, and like they could kind of save him if they take away that ice damage, maybe put him something else, or change his element typing. Sorry, but I don't think they're gonna do that.
I don't know. It's a lot of missed potential. That's all I see.
Yeah. Imagine if they actually buffed a unit by changing their typing to match their element.
Yeah. That
would be a weird buff.
Honestly, like if there was like a speed unit that was weak to ice, that he'd shine, right?
Yeah. OG Aura.
Oh man. We're getting to auras now.
D tier. Yeah. OG Aura. Has OG Aura even been buffed yet?
Yeah, has.
Oh, okay. It's
Speed's
probably
good.
really irrelevant.
Like, speed's not awful for like this gen of units. Petrification 4 MP. So if you want to cheese stuff, you can. 3 MP Beast Killer. I still hate the killing skills, especially with low ratios. And then you have a debuff, right? Speed, physical. This isn't actually awful for like a debuff if you look at it, because if you get a strong boss and you cut the speed on your attack for 3 MP, like you automatically outspeed them, and then you automatically take like half damage. It's actually, this is like the best skill this aura has.
If they're physical.
Yeah, if they're physical.
So like, yeah, I mean, and then the rest of the kit is just rubbish. Like there's nothing in her kit. Even the petrify, you say cheese, but like end game content. First of all, if aura somehow survives one attack, that would be great. But the petrification is never gonna land. Like there's just never. So like there's nothing really outstanding about this unit besides an okay debuff. But you're not, if you're bringing this unit for a debuff on your team, you just start a new account. Just start a new account.
Hey man, I'm trying not to be like a downer 24/7.
Yeah. OG, not OG Aura, Nazarick Aura.
Yeah. Low attack.
Oh god.
Good speed. Actually decent defense. Low HP. And then petrification for 5. That's bad. Self buff. Like not awful, but like you need something else. And then
we know why this unit's good.
Yeah. Do you know what's crazy? This unit's totally in line to get a buff, and when they do, I hope they make it crazy. Like I hope they make this 5 hits.
I hope they don't. Like I never liked this aura from like the start of Global. I hated this unit.
Oh, you gotta calm down.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad this unit is now no longer like top tier.
I still think it's a good unit.
It's okay. I don't think it's good anymore. Like I think when we done damage calculations for single target, like Nazarick Aura is now like pretty much dead last against like all the units that hit multi-hit and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
but you gotta realize how old this unit was. This was the first Nazarick Fest unit, and the fact that it was still like in the relevant talkings of is amazing.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's in the relevant talkings. I think it's just the fact that it has a multi-hit.
Dude, I think
so.
Like
we just include all multi-hits, and like
I think Aura's the bow. Aura's the bow that you measure everything else against.
Yeah, single target wise.
Yeah, if you're better than Aura, you're in like the running of the conversation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
because that's big amount of damage for 2 hits for 4 MP, but unfortunately 7,200 base attack is
let's look at Aura.
Nice.
Yep, good speed, low attack, like below average attack, like low HP, good like average defense, right? First skill, poison.
That's actually quite good.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like it's high damage and elemental rate for 3 MP.
Yep.
And then
I think there's a few better poison units than her.
Yeah, there are.
But like,
Yeah, there
it's
are.
still not bad for having another poison attacker. All parameters up for self for 2 MP, not bad. Gauge by 10%. And then this is self gauge fill for 20%, and then it's 3 MP. So you spam this, she gets OD. She rocks up with her OD, which it was better in global because global did not know how to do anything correctly. And then good passives: poison up, more attack, and then you start with gauge. So you just slap this twice, and then you're pretty much good to go.
The other thing that's good about that unit with that one skill with the overdrive bar is it has a pretty high crit rate. It's like 23% crit rate.
Yeah.
Just alone, no relics. So that's also pretty good for raids in general.
Yep.
But yeah.
Me too.
Halloween Aura.
Yeah. That is...
This is basically like a cheap version of Nazarick Aura, pretty much. Just slight tweaks.
Yeah, which is weird. But like, Dancing Whip is back, 128 for 2. You have a physical attack debuff / damage on 2. Not awful either. You've got like a steroid for crits. You have better passives, much better passives. A bit lower base attack by like 100. That doesn't even matter at that point because all this makes up for it. Just a better version. And then I think on the original tier list is an S, but like I'm gonna lowball this one. I'm gonna I'm gonna lowball.
I would
top
say
of it.
Yeah.
Top of
like it's not that much better than Nazarick Aura, and like they're both kind of like that bar.
Like if this is like near the middle bottom S, then this is near the top of A. Yeah, we get to move on to the Mare, so
Mare.
That's nice.
Mare.
Yeah, healer, like, yeah.
Look at that defense.
Yeah, no. Mare's still paper.
This
so,
unit.
Slow speed, low HP, low defense, low attack. That's full of awfulness.
Resistances.
Yeah, this is a joke of a skill. Like, you maybe use this for like the kicks, and then all you're using this unit for is the AoE heal, and then the overdrive heal. And the overdrive heal actually scales with overdrive level. So, oh man,
it's just like this is another one of those relic of the times. Like this unit used to be the best like healer because it was the only one. But yeah, I would say C tier personally.
Yeah.
Like there's only one healer or 2 healers that are below Mare, I would say.
Yeah, like it's still useful for editing content. It's just that like this is like a fragile glass like baby you've got to protect, or else it's just gonna die.
Like, you gotta hope that the boss doesn't AoE attack you, otherwise there's no saving Mare with those stats.
Evasion. You count on evasion.
Oh yeah, you gotta count on evasion.
Yeah. So this is kind of like Nazarick Mare, the grown-up version, as in has actual good stats. Pretty much like makes the cutoff, I'd say, for the speed of an enhancer. Has a speed passive, so definitely makes the cutoff. Good defense. Honestly, that's not the worst attack stat for an enhancer in the game. Some of them are higher, but those are more offense-oriented enhancers, like Yuri and stuff. Like Valentine's Yuri. HP is not like HP is pretty decent for enhance as well. You got CO single target. Doesn't fucking matter. You're not gonna use this super often. This is really good. 1 MP heal. So this is pretty much you heal for free each turn, because you regain 1 MP a turn. So it's good.
And it's actually quite a high amount as well. Like I thought if they was ever gonna do that, it'd be like 1,500 HP. Which is like
no, you can actually use this as like a single target healer, which is kind of like amazing and kind of hilarious. You start getting to issues when the enemy starts like AoEing your field, but like before that, it's not awful. You got a really good debuff for like defense and speed shredding for 5, and it does AoE damage. I would have liked an attack shred. If an attack shred was here, I would actually put this higher than I normally would have. Like I think that this has potential to be like an S tier.
If it had like attack down, it's pretty much like a crappy version of Albedo.
Yeah, except that this is the healing version. You can run both of them at this point, and you can start layering stuff, right? +4 hit passive. I think this is important in this day and age of enemies having more base evasion. So I think hit passives are a lot better than they used to be.
Yeah.
Same thing. You got defense, speed, attack, crit. So just generally a very like decent unit, like overall. Like it does healing, it does a bit damage, does a bit of buffing. So it's kind of like an all-rounder, especially with the passes making it. So I'd say it's meant a really solid spot in A tier, I'd say.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not too much to say really. Like again, as you said, it's pretty much a pretty good all-round unit.
Yeah,
like,
there's gonna be better healers. There's gonna be like better debuffers.
Yeah.
There's gonna be better attackers, right? So
yeah, it's just got that niche little uniqueness to it, I guess, with the 1 MP heal and the good AOE, fairly decent AOE.
Yeah. So then next Mare.
Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween Mare. So right now, just low speed, low defense, low attack, low HP.
Yeah, everything. First skill is actually not that good. Like OG Mare does that same skill for 2 MP, so that's actually not high ratios. Second skill is it's like, you know, it's okay. And then the last skill is like, again, a crappy version of the Mare we just saw. You know, because it's only magical defense. And just all round, like, I know the passives are attacks, like magic attack and elemental earth strengthen, but the attack stat is already low on this unit anyway. 7k. So yeah, like for me it'd be a B tier. Personally.
B tier? I'd go a bit lower.
But like it'd be like dead last B tier, near enough.
Oh really? I think it's like top of C tier. Actually, I should give it more like. I still think the healing's a bit more valuable. we have so few healers in the game. I think that's the big issue.
Yeah. Especially AoE ones.
One? Yeah, this last one we'll touch on. This is the New Year's one. Good speed for an enhancer. Has a speed passive too, so like really good speed. Defense is high. HP is like actually decent. It's good. It's good HP, 78.
Yeah.
And then the attack is low, but it's an enhancer, so we forgive. Paralysis 3 MP, that's kind of a skip skill. 4 MP AoE plus speed cut. Actually not the worst. You can use this for AoE farming, and the speed cut's like not awful. And then you have a single target defense cut. Speed, physical damage reduction. I'd say that unit's like a solid B tier unit. Yeah. Just for the farming, I'd even put it like about there. Yeah. About there.
Really?
Oh, sorry. B tier, right?
Yeah, I think B tier. I would say it's better than the other.
Sorry, B tier.
So I was looking at it, I was like, wait, what?
C or B's?
I thought you said, no, you said B as well.
Yeah, I said B, and I just put in the wrong one.
We both like solid B tier, and then you was like, yeah, nah, but I'm going to put Mare in C.
Oh, man, sorry.
This unit's S tier, but we're going to
The letters in my head were just like, I see, I fucked up super fucking hard.
It's okay.
We'll
struggle.
Alright, we get 4 flavors of Demi next. Base Demi. As an attacker, low attack score, low HP score. Like all of the original units suffer from like this bad stat distributions, and I don't think they'll ever tweak these to be really good units. So you have Humanoid Killer, which is awful. You have this buff, which is not the worst buff, but like there's better buffs. And then you have like the fire attack with like this is like
it's down below average.
Yeah, like nowadays it's 50%. This is like this ratio is even a bit higher.
130%, yeah.
Yeah, 5% is a joke. 20% is not.
The unit is rubbish. The overdrive units do for 3 MP nowadays.
Yeah, honestly, like it's like the fire version of like Cock.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe because
I would say he's better than Cock just because he's a lot faster.
And like you can use the skill.
His skills are like 3 MP. Yeah.
That's my boy.
Demi. Oh, nice Demi.
He's a bit below average attack, but that's not horrible for the time he got buffed. His HP is a bit low though, but his defense is good, and so is his speed. He actually has really good resistances, which is surprising. He's a 2 MP flame, which puts him instantly, I think, above Ainz.
Yeah.
And then a good self buff. And then he has his large nuke. This might cost a lot, but this actually does nuke a lot for neutral. And then he's got a lot of damaging passives, and he has a strong ice nuke on single. Well, as good as it'll get for like
Yeah, he's just basically a very unique nuke AoE unit, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, top
Top
of
of
A
A
tier.
tier, bottom of S tier. But
Yeah.
we'll be top of A tier, no bias.
Um,
Jaldabaoth?
Jaldabaoth.
Yeah, 50% speed. This puts him to be a bit below average speed, even with the 420-ish. You do want him
Defense
to,
is
yeah.
okay.
Defense is good. HP is low. Attack is actually, I say attack's not awful for an enhancer.
It's not bad, but this unit does like no damage.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not supposed to do damage. It's
yeah.
supposed to do this. It's supposed to do this skill, and
Mm.
it's supposed to do this skill pretty much only. It's a debuffer. You have this this one skill to increase his odds of hitting stuff and not dying, but like you're not using him as an attacker. And then he has a paralysis skill on 4. Not awful passives, but like he's trying to be like an offensive debuffer. But like there's like I said,
It's just a
there's
debuffer, basically.
yeah, there's better units that do it a lot better. But we
Yeah.
don't have a crazy amount of
Debuffers.
in the game. So
I
like
would say he's like either like high B or like low A.
I'm gonna put him like bottom V at this point.
Yeah.
A lot more
Oh
generous
no,
than that.
this is a unit that like used to be like quite top notch. And like I feel like everyone's lost a lot of love now for this unit. I personally have.
Yeah, well, speed's good, defense is low, attack is low, HP is low.
He's just updated now.
Like
3 MP, like that's a okay baseline.
it'd be 50%
But the
elemental
elemental
rate
rate is a bit low,
Yeah.
yeah.
for nowadays.
The buff is also low.
It's not awful either, but like yeah. And then
who was the one that we just saw? There was someone that we had. I think it was OG Demi has a better self buff than that.
yeah, and then
AoE
flame AoE, fire shape, fire shape in 5. Like I said, he might get both in the future.
Yeah, I would say like he's a weaker version of OG Ainz at this point for fire element rather than dark.
Yeah. You know what? I'm a bit more stricter on units that haven't got buffed yet, who kind of look like they could get buffed reasonably soon. So I don't mind putting them a bit lower than I think they are, because you know they're gonna bounce back eventually.
What's his base attack?
76.
76.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I that makes sense. I guess like his stats are a lot less than OG Ainz, but and OG Ainz has got higher rates and his damage.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they virtually do the same thing. Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Sebas.
Ah.
Slow speed, like okay defense, lowish defense for a tank. I'd say 4K.
Low HP.
Yeah.
That's low HP for a tank.
Hero killer's garbage. Seal's garbage. Provoke's garbage.
Taunt, rubbish. Like he's
all
just
of
rubbish.
All of his
Yeah, put him in F tier. I'm joking. Put him in D tier. Don't be too harsh on our boy Sebas.
Yeah, that's.
But this Sebas, Harper Santa Claus.
Yeah. So
he's a little bit better.
This skill you don't really use. This one's a heal, not bad. And then you get the 200% provoke. You get the 70% defense to self. You start with 200% provoke, and then you naturally have 50% physical reduction plus physical defense, stacking onto defense, and then 2 stacks of immune. So he is one of the premier physical defense tanks in the game.
Yeah.
And when I say premier, he's behind like 2-3 other people in just being a good defensive tank. So like he was good when he came out. With his new set of buffs.
When you got buffed, yeah, and when he came out on global as well, he's pretty good as well because Yuri wasn't out yet. But
yeah, global was a whole different kind of beast though. Like I'd say he's like Jaldabaoth, right? He's a good tank, but does better, right?
Yeah, I would agree. He's very good, like in terms of physical
like 1, 2, 3,
defense,
4,
but when you
5,
put him against someone with like a magical defense, it's like magical attack. Sorry, he just falls off. So yeah, I would say he's like A tier where we've got him.
Yeah.
Stonecut Sebas. Now this is the guy that's like had like no attention.
Yeah.
But look at those stats. They're horrendous.
No, not that great. Low speed, low attack.
So bad.
Average defense, low HP. Low ratio on his attack. The buff is just pretty meh.
Same as Samurai Demi.
He's
give or take.
Yeah, he's pretty much just the worst Samurai Demi. Like, I
Mhm.
think he's like
I would say C tier personally, like
way.
upper C tier, because his stats are so much lower than Demi.
So bottom
I
would be
think
top of C.
bottom would be top of C. Yeah,
I don't
like
put
his
him top
speed
of
is
C.
too low as well. Like 370 speed is ugh.
Alright, Butler. I don't know Butler. Let's go. Good
Yeah.
speed, good attack. HP is low. Defense is averaging. First skill is a crit punch for free. Self buff, and then stacking attack. Speed goes a bit higher. Attack goes a bit higher. One punch. OD.
Yeah, he's like good for raids ish. Not amazing, but he's like
Yeah, like
okay
some
for
some
raids, like
people
buff.
rate him a bit lower. Some people would try to rate him a bit higher. Like I think he's like as good as Perfect Warrior Ainz.
I was gonna say he'd be in upper B tier, give or take.
I'd say
Like, well, when I say upper B tier, I mean like on the upper end of where we've got him there. Yeah,
yeah.
like I would still value Samurai Demi and Marstein's more than him. Marstein's mainly because it's 2 MP fire.
Oh, we get one more
But yeah,
save S. Last save S, and then we're done all of them. Okay, enhancer, right? Low speed,
stats. Yeah, his
low
defense
speed,
is pretty
good
okay.
defense, low HP, good HP. Yeah, HP's good, attacks low, ish. You got paralysis on free. This might be one of the better paralysis, for ratio, cost wise. And then self up, hit, attack, 2 MP, and then you got 2 hits, 78%, and then inflict poison, 4 MP, 148. Yeah, no, man, he's like a status dealer who
He's not that good. Like I
tries
personally
to.
would put him like C tier personally.
Yeah,
Because even with that multi-hit skill, like his attack stat is so low, and that multi-hit is only 150%, like just slightly below
yeah,
150% damage, which units are now doing for like 4 MP anyway. Like some units are doing that. Like Christmas Albedo is doing a lot of damage.
yeah. But so it's after
Pandora.
HP's fine, attack's low, defense is low, speed's really good. He's got additional speed, so he's pretty much at like 470, so really fast. Strong debuff on one enemy. Air quote, strong debuff on one enemy is a cheap
Yeah.
debuff.
It's a cheap debuff, and it's actually reasonably high for the amount
For
that
the
you're paying
cost.
for it.
Yeah, and you can
Yeah.
stack it twice, or 3 times,
Yeah.
or 4 times. Up to you how often you want to stack this, right?
3 MP skill is not that good.
No.
Like ratios are really low, and it's 3 MP.
Yeah.
The buff is not actually that high anymore when you look at it,
no, it's
really.
not.
But
And it gives you
used
damage
to be-
reduction, which is kind of an
used to be
issue.
pretty good, yeah. So, but unfortunately, this unit has just fallen off. Like he used to be pretty decent, being like one of the only buffers in the game. But yeah, I would agree somewhere like C tier. I don't
I
think
say
that buff
the very
is
bottom
anywhere
would be.
good.
The very bottom would be. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Nazarick Pandora, the last Pandora we've got.
Yeah.
People are sad.
Yeah. Speed's low, defense is high, HP is good, attack is decent. This is bad. Way too high, rate's too
Very
low,
bad.
base damage is too low. Defense shred is a garbage skill at 8%. Cost is high, paralysis is decent.
Yeah.
AoE, yeah, no, he just lacks a bunch of like. He needs buffs.
Yeah.
He needs buffs.
Yeah,
Like,
he needs a lot of buffs.
I'd say
I would put him in D tier personally as well.
I'd say
He's in the higher end of D tier because of his stats alone.
Yeah.
And like, I guess it's quite niche, but like with the paralysis, like there's not that many that have like AoE paralysis. That off the top of my head, I think Kyoku's the other one, is it?
Yeah.
And obviously the New Year unit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say that swimsuit, Yuri.
Yeah, I don't even know how this list generates these things in this order. So weird.
God, I think it's the order that you put the images in.
Yeah, no.
So
Even then,
you got a little.
it
I
doesn't
think you
make
got a little.
sense. It doesn't make
Yuri.
sense.
You put her in first.
Yeah, they already passed it. Yeah, this no past swimsuits. Alright, we'll stay around here. Alright, Yuri. Speed sight.
Put her in D
Defense
tier.
low. One punch does nothing. Doesn't even build OD gauge. Really expensive for it. You could pair this up with a separate buff. What the fuck? This is actually not a bad like. This isn't a bad skill. On like
If it was
other
for your
u-
team.
yeah, like this
If
could
it
be
was like
better.
AoE,
This is like the
if
highlight
that
of
was
this
AoE,
unit.
that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. This.
Yeah. Just put her in D tier.
Yeah. This. She has potential to be.
Overflow.
I don't know.
Just leave her at the bottom. Yeah. Now this is.
Summer.
Oh god. This is like the worst healer in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, that could exist. 10% AoE, fire
Arguably
shift,
worst stats in the game. Like in the top 3 for worst stats in the game with Mare and Beetlejuice.
Oh my cow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. HP regen units are just not as good, like healer wise, besides one that we'll get to in a bit. But like, yeah. Yes, yeah, we'll get to it tomorrow. Christmas Narberal.
Alright, so we'll just open new tab. Alright, so attack's a bit low, speed's decent, HP is good, defense is a bit low, lightning, overdrive value gauge, good ratios on her single, right? This is what we're kind of looking at, 150 32 or 125 50, right? And then you have free MP AoE, very ergonomical, spams a lot. Evasion buff is not bad. If you're trying to keep her alive in harder content, that AoE is a lot. I wouldn't actually mind dropping like a dip into this if you don't have AoE evasion on your team. So I don't know. I value her highly as a unit.
Her single target's a little bit stronger than average, like the free MP, because it's not the 150% ratio is a little bit higher. Yeah. And the free MP AoE is just quite valuable. So she's like a low end S tier for me personally. With a lot outdated
I think she's
stuff.
mid S. I think she's mid S, mid high S.
Like I wouldn't say she's dead last in S tier, but like I would say she's in the lower end. Like because let's be honest with you, like the free MP skill is what kind of keeps her up that high. Personally, like the AoE, like no one ever farms anymore. Let's be honest.
Oh bullshit.
And we don't even get to choose what we want to farm anymore. They'll be like, yeah, so the bonus event units are swimsuit Narbe.
Man, I feel even for books and stuff, you could break her.
Yeah,
like limit break mats.
You could bring her for that, yeah.
There's other stuff to farm that's not an event. Alright, so Summon Nabe. Low speed, low HP, low attack, low defense. Lightning is atrocious, too expensive. Like I said, a lot of buffs are so-so. AoE is too expensive. Ratios passives are garbage.
She's a weaker version of Stonecutter Sebas, but like quite a bit weaker now because of the 6 MP AoE, so C tier.
Get bolt there. Then we got the Nazarick version of herself, right?
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speed, a little bit below average. HP, defense are okay. Attack is actually it's a below average, but like this unit hasn't.
I say that's average still. Like, it's so close to the low that like
it's this hasn't even been buffed yet. Like this used to be one of like the highest attacking units in the game with Nazarick Ainz. So yeah.
Speed's a bit low, defense is a bit low, HP is a bit low, but whatever. Single target paralysis skill, 4 MP, cost is kind of high, and then you got the charge mechanic, where you give yourself counter, and then pretty much if you get hit by physical skill, you counterattack with a thunder skill, and then you can charge this for 3 times. Then her other skill is expends the charged. Either it does 125, so it does like really shitty damage for free MP with no charges. If you have charge 1, you do a bit more, you do 150, which honestly, this attack for free MP should be doing about 150 without any charges, realistically, for nowadays. And then at 2 stacks, it becomes an AoE with a low ratio, and at 3 stacks, it becomes like a single target attack that hits everything at like a decent ratio.
That ratio is actually not that bad. 110% AoE for free MP. I know you have to charge it up.
Yeah, but you just spend 2 turns for it.
Yeah, you got to spend 2 turns to charge it up, but that damage is actually quite high for free MP.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like you get payoffs and stuff. Depending on how well you do.
It's a patience game with Nazarick Narbe.
Yeah.
But yeah, this unit's a bit weirder to rank. I'd probably place like B tier or maybe even C tier at that. I think her stats are too high to be in C tier personally.
Yeah.
So B.
Yeah, I want to say she's a bit better than these two. Alright.
I would even argue she's better than Samurai Demi.
Alright. Alright, so the next one we're gonna do is what? Summer Shizu? Alright,
Yeah.
Close that, and then man, where's Shizu?
Yeah. A lot of the summer units are kind of outdated now,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
they're all outdated. Poison not good,
Yeah.
attack cuts okay, but like this is too expensive, speed cuts are awful. Yeah, she's like C tier.
C tier.
Maybe above there. It's AoE sleep versus cuts. I don't know, her stats aren't that great either.
Yeah. Swim solution. She's got a bit of nicheness about her with the hit down on her.
Yeah,
Porn.
it's 150% provoke,
really
which
bad,
isn't like the provoke is actually like not the worst provoke stat in the game because
The
200
stats are a bit
200
outdated,
is
though.
the average, but like poison's not useful. This is not useful. This is the
It's
only
literally only that hit down and the attack party up.
yeah,
for
like
her.
that's the only good thing about it.
Yeah.
I'd say like
She's upper C, maybe lower B.
yeah,
Personally,
I'm gonna give lower B tier. Is this like the super budget like? Do you use this
the
anymore?
budget units.
Yeah.
And
The only other sleep unit in the game. Plus 1 hit, magic attack. It's only self buff. Is this AoE? That'd be really good. Yeah. Her sleep.
AoE, low sleep, 5 MP, still outdated.
T-buff.
Low ratios on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's like the budget healer. So
yeah,
like,
I would say she's above Albedo though.
Yeah.
Because her AoE and sleep are both in one skill, whereas Albedo's are 2 individual ones.
Yeah, and then she also can buff her teammates poorly, so that's
yeah.
That's another thing. Oh, then we get to go like polarizing to the opposite of Entoma's.
The opposite version.
Jump straight into this. Yeah, no. Slow speed for an enhancer bone 4/6.
Yeah.
Good HP.
I think this
good
unit
defense, low attack.
Yeah, this unit, like we spoke about, like I think yesterday, and she's still high rated, but like I feel like we need to bring her down on the actual tier list because just so many units are coming out now that are just so good. I still think she's S tier though.
Yeah,
I just don't think she's near. I don't think she's near. I don't think she's near the top anymore. I think she's like middle of the pack now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Sorry, APM.
Yeah.
Nurinist, S tier, the best unit in the game, and best looking.
Okay.
She's actually not that bad. Like,
oh
I'm
no,
not even,
like attack is average now, right?
Low speed.
Yeah, low speed, low HP, lowish defense.
First skill, actually very strong ratios.
Yeah,
like,
really strong ratios for poison type.
It's like
this might be like the most damaging poison skill with like base attack. Physical attack, dark poison element, all synergizes with the kit. Humanoid killer is killer. I think this is still garbage though. And then
that one's rubbish. That skill is also pretty bad as well.
Yeah,
I would say I would never use it. I would only use it for that one skill, poison damage.
Yeah, so it's just a generic poison attacker. So
she's like low end B, high C.
Yeah, I was gonna say like she's like better than Mighty Cock, but for poison. So I'll give low B. It's like even the attack ratios are just.
Isn't she's still technically better than Ainz? Not OG Ainz, not OG Ainz. Like
this one.
The true warrior Ainz. She's a little bit better than him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is up there. Yes, Nurinus. One more month, one more year, and then we'll get you up to Triple S. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Keep getting buffed. OG Clem. This is like a crappy version of Yuri.
Yeah. Good speed, low defense, low HP, low attack. I should stop doing that as much. Okay, let's just. The bleed's really strong. I think the bleed's really strong.
Yeah.
That's the best part of the kit.
Yeah.
Self buffs, more attack. If you're just rating on how good bleed is as a status ailment, which seems to proc endgame content much more than stuff like seal or like paralysis or sleep, then like
C tier for me. Her stats are too low, and she's got one very niche skill, and it's only single target.
Yeah.
Like, don't proc it. Like,
I still think
that is her only goal, to proc that bleed. If she doesn't pull that off,
it's 83%
I know
chance.
it's a very high rate. I know it's a
Yeah.
very high rate. But if she doesn't proc it, she's not even doing a lot of damage with that skill.
Oh,
So
I forgot there's like 2 other versions of her.
yeah.
Saint Clem. Yeah. All right. Low speed. Average defense, high HP, low attack.
Yeah.
This one's garbage. That's totally good skill. This is an okay skill if you want to take away from a mana pool. It's like not awful if you want to use it.
It's just not
someone who
good,
doesn't have damage reduction.
Yeah. Her passives are actually really good for a healer.
Keep her alive.
And overdrive as well is same as Mare. So yeah, I would say like upper B tier personally, because that single target heal is actually really strong, or like in the A tier, like low A tier.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say like just based on like the merit of her healing, right? I would say like we don't have like too many healers in the game already, so like she should go in A tier just how good her heals are. And like if you look better than like all below tier damage dealers, and then I would place her higher just based on would you rather use Mare or her as a healer, and I'd say like realistically you'd use her over Mare, right? And then do you value that? I don't know, I'd say above. I would value her more than a niche damage dealer, right? But then like you got a buffer, debuffer / farmer, sorry, like a enhancer. I don't know, like both there seems
like her single target heal is really strong. The only thing that like brings her down for me personally is just her stats.
It's but like we don't have that many healers, so the pool is small. Really high speed. That's really high speed for passive. Super high speed for an attacker. You can even call that a demerit at this point. Holy shit. And then like
everything else is like
strong,
average below.
Yeah, strong attack skill, and that's kind of it. She hits stuff hard. And then fire, lightning. About there.
Yeah. Interchangeable with the Saint Clem, depending on what unit.
Yeah, I even think this is high. I even think that's high. I think all these kind of close to the same thing.
I can't remember when Sifril done testing for single target if Clem done more damage than those two auras or not.
I think it does too, but like even then, it's kind of like
it's not.
Lakyus.
Who's next? Lakyus.
Below like
the
average
speed's actually not that bad.
Yeah,
like
no, it's
considering what
it's
generation
like
of a unit.
438. So that's good speed. That's the average speed. Really high defense, which is actually super nice. Like this is actually really stupid high for an enhancer. And then like this attack ratios are low. This is the only good skill for buffing for physical crit. I think actually Valkyrie has this as well, but it's a bit lower at 3 MP. So like you could even say Valkyrie's better. This spot here is not bad for 3 MP, and then passives are kind of
it's okay. Yeah, like overall she's okay unit. I think again, like she's more used for raids. Like I don't really feel like you use it as a buffer. I would personally put her B tier. I don't think that kit at all is that good.
I think
like really not good at all. Like, and I'm not even saying like top of B tier. I'm even saying like bottom mid. Like you got to think. Look at the kit again. Like her buff is strictly for physical, and it's 4 MP. Yeah, you get a crit buff, but there's units in the game that are doing that for like 3 MP, like Nazarick Ainz. Valkyrie's probably, I think Valkyrie's 3 MP.
Yeah,
like, and there's other buffs. Like it depends how much you value crit, and I don't value it that much at all. Like for raids, yeah, but
we don't have as much raid content right nowadays.
Evil Eye.
I think base Evil Eye is like pretty garbage.
I don't like this Evil Eye at all personally. I feel like she's like
she was okay at the time. Like this is 5 turns though, which is like we need more skills that go for 5 turns. But like besides that, nah. You can't even put her like crazy high on anywhere.
Like,
She's better than
tier.
summer units. Like I think she's better.
She's
than...
better than Naz. What's her name? Not Naz. Yeah, she's somewhere there, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. What's the next one?
EY. Nazarick.
This is like prime evil eye. All your stats are just better than the other one. I think the skill is still garbage, but whatever.
I agree.
It mixes two garbage skills. It gives a status skill and insect killer, so it mixes
I would
like.
never use that skill personally.
Yeah,
like,
I know, but it just
and
mixes two different garbage skills together. I feel.
It's 4 MP.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
Yeah, it is. You got this good ratio, and you got amp up on it. You got actually this is pretty good ratios for AOE skill. To be honest, it's kind of expensive, but like whatever.
I think the elemental rate is what saves that damage on that one.
Yeah.
Like if it was like a little bit less, I think it'd be below average.
I think you're hitting everything pretty hard.
The thing is, like with the units that are being buffed and everything, there's a new change. I feel like people are just overlooking that. Like I would say top of A tier. I wouldn't even say that's S tier.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of any 5 MP unless it's got like a really good debuff like defense. Like I don't see any 5 MP AoEs getting in S tier.
Alright.
Anymore.
Next two units. Firstly, stat wise, passive wise, I think the passives are actually pretty decent. Like that's a nice passive. This isn't bad. This is just what the fuck. But like not the worst. I would like +2 to be honest. You've got this shredding free MP. You've got a self buff that's not awful, and then you've got like a crit attack skill. So he's kind of like he's kind of like Nas Sebas, except that instead of amping up, he amps down.
And the enemy, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that's a very comparable unit, and like to be honest, I kind of like the lowering the shredding than the boosting, because if you're boosting, you're increasing your DPS, right? But if you're shredding, you're increasing.
I value the defense down more, because if you lower the enemy's defense, your whole team's going to do more damage. Whereas if you buff your attack, you're only going to be doing more damage with that unit.
Yeah, I still think Dual is better though, because actually has like can hit hard with what they do. Okay, Zesshi. Yeah, she's right. NASFest stats.
She's rubbish.
Yeah, these are NASFest stats, old NASFest stats. Her kits too expensive, and then not really. I still love the passives though. I think these passives still hold up to this date.
Yeah, the passives are still good. I think the only way you can really improve it, besides ridiculously like doing fucking 4 evasion, is buffing that physical attack passive.
Yeah.
But yeah, her kit's too expensive. So like, I would say like she's upper C tier. I don't even think B tier anymore.
I think
like it's too expensive, like way too expensive. Like the only reason why you should get in B tier is depending on how much you value those passives. Like, and they are good. Like, they're still like top 5 probably at the minute.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But
if you cherry picked individual passives, like there are some better than hers, but like overall, I think hers is really strong still. Okay, Rasu Fluto 0. Okay, that's gonna be
painful.
Oh, I need to go find. Is Lizard above or below? I think maybe even.
He's pretty low down.
Alright, so Lizard.
Yeah. S tier.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the database is telling us to put him in S tier, but sadly, he's a unit that needs to get buffed. Garbage.
I mean, yeah.
Ratio's low, speed shred.
So low. MP is so expensive. Defense. I don't know if you saw his defense was like 2K900. That's like, I think only a couple of units have that. So yeah, he's like D tier.
Maybe though. There's some parts of his kit I don't hate. It's just that like he needs an expansion on his kit. For the 7K as an enhancer, that's not awful, but like we're pretty much treating him as an attacker because this is his enhanced skill. It's all like triple element up the team. Then he's got shred. And then he's got like this nuking skill. I think 3 MP would put him on par with Clem, but it's 4 MP, so that's kind of a shame. And then like this isn't awful for 4 MP.
Yeah. No, that's actually a pretty decent skill because it lowers the defense as well.
Yeah.
What's the damage ratio on that skill? 70 something? The AoE. Yeah, okay, that's loading. But the defense down's good.
Yeah. Like I'd put
I
him
would
in,
probably
like,
say he's like, yeah.
A tier. I think he's a bit more
Like I would
versatile.
say he's lower end because his stats are a little bit lower, considering he's an enhancer.
Yeah.
His attack stats not that high because, as you said, he's basically a DPS. That's an enhancer for some reason.
We have a few of those in the game.
Unfortunately, we do.
Yeah. Average.
0.
Average defense, good HP. The Megumin killer's garbage. Self buff is okay, but you'll only pretty much be using this, right? If they really wanted to make him an attacker, they would have gave him like 800 more attack if they wanted you to be an attacking tank, to be honest. So yeah, this is his damage reduction is good, defense is good, right? This is really good for tank, really generic. And then you got a good provoke, you got additional defense, so he should be sturdy. Like I would like another 1k like defense on him, but whatever, you can't ask for too much. I think he sets the bar for like what a tank should be nowadays, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
I would agree. With that, taunt is really good.
So
yeah,
I think he's better than Sebas because Sebas really only does physical, and then I think he sets the bar right about here. Because if he sets the bars for tanks, then this sets the bar for like if you're like a decent healer or not, right? Wow, we already ended up in the collab units. Oh, snap! Wow.
Well, that's not even half.
Yeah, you know what? The fun part about this though is all these collab units are buffed. So like, heck yeah. Kazuma, good speed for an enhancer. Holy fuck, he's he's one of the fastest units in the game, like sub 500.
Yeah.
But like,
I think he's like top 5.
Yeah, he's like 497.
Mm.
Oh shit, no, he's 500. He's like 501, 502. So really good speed for an enhancer. Defense is not bad, kind of lacking, but like I think this is forgivable because this pretty much changes his attack type to water, so that's interesting. And then this is not the worst self buff because it gives you speed, so he becomes faster than anything else in the game. Evasion's nice, right? And then it actually gives you minus hit, which we also value, and minor attack shred for 2. This isn't gonna be bad if you pair him up with like Nazarick Albedo. I think it would be really nice to get additional like cuts, right? And then he's got his steal.
Unique.
You just throw a bunch of statuses in their face. His passive synergize with him. Plus 4 evasion on a unit, it's insane. Because he innately has a 40% chance to dodge. And then if you give him a dodge relic, he innately has a 53% chance to dodge. Then if you use the skill once, it's 56%. That's... this is nutty. I think this is one of the... if we're talking about Zeshi's passives, this is like this is the best evasion passive in the game.
Yeah, 100%. Is he got the hit up and the critical up?
Yeah.
Granted, he's not doing that much damage anyway, but like a very, very good passive.
Yeah. And then speed, magic defense. He stays fast. Yeah, no. I have good things to say about Kazuma. Like I think Kazuma is like a really decent unit. He's like definitely B tier in his utility. Like I would rather have Kazuma over like Pandora's actor, to be honest. My opinion of Pandora's actor is kind of not that high right now. But like, I don't think he goes that much higher.
Like Pandora is like he's like
I'd say like highest. He does not beat Perfect Warrior Ainz in terms of B tier. I think there's a kind of a divide between them, maybe a bit like
that's like a B minus B plus tier right there in between them, I would say.
Almost.
Double S tier.
Almost. Yeah. No. There's nothing to say here except for this.
Yeah.
That's
for 4 MP AoE, and it basically holds everyone back to full HP.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Like the stats are no slouch either. So like for healer, so no, that's it.
Pretty tanky, yeah. I think Megumin's undervalued on the current tier list. Personally.
Above average attack, 8950, super strong.
That's way above average. That's like top 3?
Top 4.
I think.
Top 4.
Is it higher than Toga?
It's on the same thing.
PDL is the highest, then Glass, then it's Toga and Megumin. Which ones? I don't know which
They're tied.
Yeah.
They're 8950.
Yeah. So it's like insanely high attack.
Yeah.
Her speed's actually not even that bad either. She is literally a glass cannon though.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's
nuclear
quite hard.
explosions. I'd say better than Demi. Better than
What's
Demi
her ratios on her AoE?
on her AoE. 85, 60%.
85%. Yeah, she's better than Demi. 100%.
Yeah.
I would say. I wouldn't even say better than Mars. I would say she's like, yeah. I would say she's the borderline for B tier. That's actually really strong because you got to look at her entire attack stat with that, like added on.
Actually,
And they're
she
high.
literally just bought people with 8950.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. The thing is, all this doesn't buff her basic attack. All her passes only buff her skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That skill hits hard then. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Megumin, pretty good. Darkness.
Okay. For Darkness, she actually breaks the mode in the fact that she's a 300% provoke tank. So aggro holding wise, she's the best at holding aggro outside of cover. So I think the only unit that holds better is Naofumi and or Albedo. Because Albedo has actually Albedo is the best unit at holding aggro with cover and provoke. Then it's Naofumi with just cover, and then I'd say it's Darkness with the highest provoke.
I think the best comparison here with this unit is to compare versus
Zero. She's always been compared to Zero before and after buffs. So like first skill is a joke, a hilarious, funny joke, and then this isn't bad. Except that like the things I don't like about this is her provoke is 2 turns for the damage reduction. Yeah, but then she starts six turns of 300% provoke.
She already has 30% magical damage reduced permanently anyway.
So what you can do is prefer passives, which are also really nice, is just use this on the first turn, and then like only use this like 2-3 turns down the road. But she holds aggro super well, and I do like that. It's either above or below 0, and then on a good day she's above 0, on a bad day she's below 0.
Yeah. Tanya is actually like the current event as well on JP.
Yeah, she's also the fastest unit in the game.
What's the passive?
15% speed and plus 2 evasion. She is literally the fastest unit in the game. Yeah. That's
is she?
Say. Yeah. Pretty much if you count her having plus 60 speed, she's like 512.
60.
Oh yeah, she gets 15% speed off 450, right?
Yeah.
So if you do 10%, that's 45, and you half of 45, right? And that's 67.
Kazuma's faster, no?
No, Kazuma hits about 502. She hits like 560.
Yeah, but 15% of 450 is like 499, and if they round it up, 500 on the dot.
What? No, that's 10%. This is 15%. If you do 10%, it's 45.
Yeah, it is. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah,
ignore me. I was doing it as 1%, not 5%. Yeah, she is probably the fastest unit in the game then.
Yeah. Oh man, I look. Okay.
Sorry, my maths. Quick
Demon
maths.
Killer's garbage. That's not bad. This is her only like skill you use, right? Plus evasion is nice. 4 MP AoE is really good. That's like the minimum for like damage ratios nowadays. Her passives like geared towards doing more damage and survivability, and then she pretty much sits around like a free evasion, which is about 33%. So 1 in 3 chance of dodging attack. That's not awful. She's still a bit low on the attack end, but like she's good at staying alive and like repeatedly doing damage. So like just in terms of survivability, I say she's about like top of B tier, bottom of A tier. In terms of like DPS.
I would say she's B tier. Like, I mean, look at her stats.
Realistically, in harder content, she should do better than Megumi in the sense that she won't die as much from AoE, but she'll do a lot less damage.
Yeah, I guess that's the trade-off. I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's either survivability or DPS, and we've always had that argument. Oh wait, then it's
I would prefer Megumin only because you're guaranteed to do more damage every time, whereas she will only stay alive longer than Megumin if she evades.
Yeah, especially as I hate evasion. Like, I value it. All right, next, Amelia. Man, look at that attack stat. This is the bow. She kind of sits gracefully on the bow, below average HP in defense, but
good speed.
Yep. This is what the Cocytus need, a 2 MP. This is literally a Cocytus skill, except instead of 5, it's 2 or whatever.
5 MP for that. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, next skill is pretty much useless.
Yep. And then this one is loaded. This is a very loaded skill.
I rate that skill a lot.
Yeah. Because it does ice damage. It actually shreds ice by 20%, right? So it's 20% ice shred. And then speed down, freeze. Then she's gracefully fast, and her attack is really decent with her base stats. And then this hits. Her overdrive is actually super nice. I think she was underrated originally, I think, on the tier list. But I think she's definitely an A tier unit at this point.
Yeah, I think she's an A. She's one of the stronger ice units, single target, I would say.
Yeah,
she's definitely stronger.
Is. Above darkness, but like I'd say like her niche is a bit
more.
Low.
Yeah. I would still value Valkyrie more, like because the damage potential, I guess you could say.
Okay, yeah, Ram, good speed for healer, right? Like decent speed for healer. Really tanky, good HP too. So like she has like passes to keep her alive, right? With the recovery and the HP regenerating synergizing, which isn't like super great if you think about it, but it's better than nothing. Especially if she heals herself.
20% defense, pretty good.
Her heal is massive.
Yeah,
the highest skill in
that is literally a freaking insta heal.
Yeah,
like that is pretty much an insta heal because like I think the highest HP you might see is like 12k. Right?
No, you can get higher. I think someone has 9k HP, and if you equip new relic, you get the 13.
Yeah. So 13k, like, and if you're using this skill when your team is 900 HP, then yeah, you're playing a risky life. But yeah, very strong heal.
This magic reduction is actually super nice on tanks that have regular. If you throw this on 0, it makes him a lot tankier too against other stuff. Yeah. So
I'd say she's a better version of Saint Clem, personally.
Yeah, I think she's kind of as tanky, and then she also has the merit of self-sustain, which I do value.
I think she's a better version. She's got better typing. Heal does more. And yeah, as you said, they're pretty even in terms of staying alive with the magical and physical damage reduced and the HP regen.
Yep. This become next we're going to Ram. She is a wind shredder. Really fast for an attacker. Attack is a bit low, but like it's not awful. And then she has 2 MP defense shred, right? Then she has like a 3 MP nuke, and then she has a strength skill. So she's pretty good at wind shredding.
Passives are quite good as well to complement the damage on that nuke skill.
Yeah. I'd say she's the wind equivalent of like Master Ainz. But yeah.
He needs intimacy.
he's getting it.
He needs that intimacy.
Right now, we're doing this tier list right before he gets intimacy, but he is gonna get intimacy. It's in the codes. So, but we're gonna rate him without it. And then pretty much he has a good ratio for MP AoE. Like this is actually a really good ratio. Like one of the better ones in the entire game.
Yeah, that is one of the better ones. I think we compared it to Christmas Albedo the other day.
Yeah.
In terms of damage.
It does more. It's just that his base stats are garbage. Like speed's not awful, but like he needs that intimacy boost because he gets a big defense and HP attack boost.
Yeah. Damn. He's gonna be quite tanky.
He's like after buffs, he'll be like discount fluter, but for dark and no shred.
Discount.
Yeah,
I like that. I think just because of no intimacy alone, he's in C tier.
Yeah, but like, I think he's better than people with awful costs though. But like, I think
I'd put him there. Yeah,
just there.
I think Cocytus has got too high of stats. Like he's got about 2.5k extra attack. Yeah. That alone is just way beating that.
Dead Alive into some nice stuff.
The old ones.
The updated ones. Oh, whoops! I slipped in the Toka. That should have been in there. All right, so first one, base Toka. Good stats. I like it. I like it a lot. You can't be perfect.
I think she's like literally average stats for an attacker. Like every single stat is like just borderline average.
Yeah,
I would say.
Like this buff you don't use, but you can if you feel like you need it.
Yeah.
AoE farming skill, good ratio, 82%. It's for neutral. It's good for neutral.
As well.
Yeah.
Neutral. Yeah.
Then you got a single target shred skill, and since it's neutral, it's a bit higher up. Then she goes deep into this. This is a wasted passive because it only works for overdrive, but she does have an overdrive gain on her shred too, right? So that's big.
Yeah. So it can actually complement it quite often. Overall, not a bad unit. Personally, I would say, as a bare minimum, it has to be like upper B tier, like as a bare minimum.
What,
But like,
dude? I think you're
no,
sleeping. You're
just comparing
sleeping
it,
on
like,
this.
the first one that I compared it to was Nazarick Ainz in terms of kit.
I
That
think
was
she's
what I
better than
compared
Evil
to.
Eye, and then with that
I would
mid
say she's
alone,
better.
I'd put her at bottom of this.
Go back to her stats again. Yeah.
Yeah. At least bottom of S.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I'd put it better than Evil Eye. Actually, yeah, because Evil Eyes is a buff on her elemental, whereas hers is
Shred.
defense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But next we're gonna go with my girl.
Be honest,
Really
you
good
sold this
passives. Really good passives. Speed is whatever, but like she hits hard. She hits hard, and then she has burn with shred. This is like a god bless skill. Look at it. Look at these ratios, right? Look at these ratios. Look at this burn. Look at the shred. Oh man! And then she has this the hit down. If you want this,
without the burn, that skill would be down. I think the burn is good. Like the burn saves it. The burn is like the equivalent of bleed, right?
Yeah, it is.
So
and except that it shreds fire, so it makes this hit harder too. And then like this is one of the better 2MP self buffs in the game. It actually gives you extremely high crit rate, especially
with a unit with that high of attack.
Yeah.
What were the passives again? I know it's HP regen, but like what
One
were
stack
the...
of courage.
Oh yeah. So courage, for those of you that don't know, if she dies, she comes back alive with 1 HP. Because I think there's only like one other unit with that passive, so not many, especially new players, will know what that passive means. So yeah, it basically is a revive with 1 HP. There's also
1 relic with it too. Yep.
Good unit. I would say S tier personally.
Yeah, S tier. I even value her above Nabe.
I would agree. I mean, like, she's just so strong with that single target. I think the only reason why Entoma I value a little bit more is just it's because of the debuffs and the buffs, the flexibility of the unit. But in terms of single target unit, like, she's actually so strong, like really strong. Yeah, strong unit.
Yeah.
Origami.
Yeah. So this is kind of a defensive unit. You give stack and physical defense, except that you can choose who it is, unlike the other ones we've seen, right? Pretty decent buff, right? It's not awful for 3MP. Like strong stats. Like, right? This is nuts, but whatever. You're never gonna run into this situation where this comes in super useful. But
very situational. The AoE skill is like good because of the defense shred. Like the ratios are high, like 80% damage, but it's 5 MP, so it kind of like knocks it off. But the defense shred on it is like, you know, I think we've all discovered that that's really good for 5 MP.
I'd say
I would value it more than Megumin.
I'd say maybe Moment, Bluff, maybe.
Yeah.
About the same.
I think the defense shred's a lot more valuable than the soul unit that could just deal damage, if that makes sense. Yeah, not a bad unit.
Kurumi.
Pretty fast, good defense. Well, reasonably good defense.
Yeah. She hits the mark of enhancer with really high speed. She has that defense shred that Origami has, but cheaper. She has this buff, which I think is strong. Attack, hit, and evasion. It's really strong. It helps you get through some of the hard endgame content for sure. And then she has an attack down. I think her kit, really good enhancer kit. It's like Jaldabaoth, but better.
Yeah, I would say Kurumi's like upper A tier. Like, even if you look at her thing again, like her attack stat is actually really high for an enhancer unit. Speed, she's really good. She's actually not too tanky, but she's pretty good.
She's like a buffer debuffer, except instead of raw stats for your team, she's giving you utility stats, and then she debuffs the enemy through
Yeah.
her kit.
Cheap cost as well.
So like,
So
oh man,
yeah,
that's hard.
I
I'd
would
say
still say,
maybe
yeah, I'd still say Barfine's better though.
yeah.
Yeah.
What else do we have? We have a bunch of Nazfest units, and then, man, it feels like this order's kind of whack. So I'm just gonna rotate some stuff around so we get some semblance of order. And
Yeah,
let's just go
makes
to
sense.
let's go to do Berserk next. Man, these guys are
Unit
rusty,
here.
man. These units are
Yeah.
like, you could tell they came out at like a bad time compared to like some other units. Like they
No,
came
but-
out too late for them to get buffed soon, and too early for them to have good stats. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Attack buff, it's kind of bad because we expect more out of a 2 MP buff nowadays.
Yeah.
This one is you hit yourself, and then you hit the enemy.
A lot of people argue for that skill and say, "Oh yeah, but you do like quite high damage," and I'm just like, "No, you hit yourself. Like, it's not worth it. Like to me, it's not worth it at all."
Yeah, I think
I would even
Nas Sebas does
skills.
this better. Nazarick Sebas does the skill a lot better. That's it.
Yeah.
And then this
Uh,
AoE has like an okay rate and stuff, but it's too costly. And then you only, I think this percentage is too low too. And then
Yeah.
courage is nice, speed's nice, but like man,
5% speed, I think, is like outdated as well. Like we're seeing 10s, 15s, and I think 20% now. Yeah, they need to buff these units 100%.
Yeah.
I would put here again, as you said.
spot there, like maybe
yeah.
maybe like yeah.
I don't know how much you value Cocytus' ice skill, but I think he's better than Cocytus, right? I think he is like.
Yeah.
But I would still value Sebas more because he's just higher.
And then he's Earth and doesn't hit himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like the only plus minus points you can really talk about is like, is courage better than like other people's passives, I guess. And I think that's pretty picky at that point.
I personally don't rate courage too much. Like if it's because it's only 1 HP, right? Let's say like you die, right, by the first enemy in the wave. Like your healer's not quick enough to heal. And yeah, you come back alive, but then you get hit straight away after. That's just wasted passive. Like there's nothing you can do. Like
I feel like there are situations where courage will be good, because you can also pick people up after. Because like if they're on the turn order where they die, but your healer's acting next, so you can predictively say, this unit's gonna die next turn, but I'll set my heal up right away, so that the instant he drops, my healer will just hit him. Right. This only works if your healer is not shit though. So yeah, like Lakyus might be able to do it maybe with her 4K heal, but like 2K heal is not gonna do anything. Okay, Griffith. Yeah, buff is this is too low. Ratios. If it was 3 MP, it'd maybe be acceptable, but it's too expensive.
Yeah.
And then yeah, not much to say.
his stats are low again. Like he's in a C tier range, I would say.
Yeah,
He's just
maybe strong in the
ratios
summer, like maybe just above there.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't really argue.
There's not much you can say about like these 3 units just because they're so outdated, but like
yeah,
they're not as outdated as some of the ones in D tier. Skull Knight event.
that's not a bad buff. I like this buff.
So that buff is actually really good, really strong for himself. The AoE skill, like the rates aren't actually too bad. Like the crit down is okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely the best one out of the 3, I would say.
Yep. And then if you did it right, you should get OD5 of him. The ratio is not super great though, but whatever. Yeah. Glad-eyed Nazmates.
I think Glad Ainz is kind of again outdated at the moment. Like with the amount of tanks that we've been getting and buffs on the tanks, like he needs one. I feel like, which is weird to say because it's Ainz.
Yeah. It's just that the provoke is low, right?
Yeah.
So like you have good defensive, good HP. The provoke is low. The passes are kind of like weak-ish, right? And then like this is too high. This has to be like 4.
And it's 4 stacks. If it was like 8% for 3 turns for 5 MP, that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, but it's
4 stacks for 3 turns or 3 turns. Sorry, that's the downfall for it. I think
this isn't bad though. Like the skill at 2 MP, I think this is a good defensive skill for sure. It's just that like this is not bad for Shred. Like he doesn't have a bad kit. It's just that like it's dated. It's a dated kit. That's all.
Yeah, and his stats are still really high for no buffs on him yet.
Yeah, you can only get away with that for so long, right? So if Zero was the bow for tanks, do we even have a tank in B tier? Then he's
better than Swim Solution.
Yeah, and then
like I would still say he's like near the bottom of B tier in there, because like we've still got more tanks to go, and like it's just gonna save us time of moving him down when we see the other ones. But yeah, there's like so like when you think about it, like there's actually so many tanks better than him, and he's not even a bad tank.
I feel like since the game's saturated with attackers, like he's better than like a majority of attackers though. You know? I feel like
but the thing is with attackers, you have like there's so many attackers, but like some teams you could easily run without a debuffer and buffer. You could run 2 attackers, whereas a tank you only run 1 tank. Like if you're running 2 tanks on your team, you're like I don't know what your strategy is. That's like new
it's
meta.
like someone running 4 fucking tanks. Solutions to clear content, right?
4 tanks.
Who would do that?
Just put her in double S tier. Just put her in double S tier.
No, yeah, no.
Best tank in the game, in my opinion, personally.
Yeah.
She's in the running for like everyone's debate on who's the best tank in the game, and like for me, I think she's just too good.
Alright. Yeah. Let's skip the reasons. It's cause this.
Yeah.
That's it.
4 MP, 30% damage reduced for your team, with 2 evasion for your team.
And then
she had 2 evasion on her passive. She also has
30% reduction, 20% reduction, 2 evasion.
Oh. She's pretty much permanently at physical, 50% magical and 60% physical damage reduced.
Yeah, that's true.
That's if she gets hit.
Yeah.
Because I would run evasion relic on her personally. But yeah,
she goes to power +6. Yeah.
She's just she's not getting slapped.
Also, she has other good skills too, but we won't really delve too deep into it. Yeah, no, plug it. Solution.
She's your next solution.
Yeah, solution. Yeah, she's like okay, decently fast for an enhancer. Poison.
The first skill, that's a really strong first skill.
Yeah, I think this is probably better than. Yeah, this is probably the best poison skill.
Most 3 MP skills, I think.
Yeah, I think Neurologist has a bit higher percentage on a single, but the shred makes up the difference, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And then
buff is
poison hit.
Okay.
I think that's good if you want to hit people who have a lot of dodge. And then AoE poison, right? 71% chance to inflict. So like you're gonna poison most people. Definitely when you hit this. And then
especially if it's 4 hits of, so it's like individual hits.
The ratio is a bit low, but like that's 64%.
Yeah. What is that in total? Like 60%, yeah.
Yeah, 64. So it's a bit below 70.
Really low for 4 MP, but the pretty much guaranteed poison is okay.
Yeah, some defensive stats, some offensive stats. Yeah,
pretty balanced unit, right?
Yeah. I'd say she's better than Neurologist, and then I'd say she's better than Samurai Demi too.
Would you not say she's better than Master Ainz? His AoE is 6 MP still, right?
Yeah.
And then his single target doesn't have the shred.
Better than Tanya, to be honest.
Yeah. She's actually really strong.
A bit weaker than Tanya, but like I think her things were
her overall kit just balances it out, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. The previous best healer in the game.
Yeah. I still say it's a strong healer. Still better than Rem. The AoE and a single having access to both is nice. I value her more than attackers because there's so few healers in the game.
Yeah, I mean she's like runner up basically. So like she would be upper S tier for me as well. I would probably even put her above Entoma. There's not too much to say. She's got a good AoE heal, and she's also got a single target if you need to use it.
Yeah. If your tank is running physical magic damage reduction, then this isn't bad for it. But if the damage reduction, this kind of messes it up. There's always ways to fix this because she has 4/7 base speed. If you give her a good speed relic, she'll generally outspeed your tank. So what you can do is you can have her set up the heal on your tank before they reset up taunt, so that you don't interrupt their mitigation. So like I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Shizu.
Strong.
Yeah, almost makes the cut, but whatever.
Yeah, the defense is like
Yeah,
a good style of hers.
her evasion and speed passive make up for some of her lackings, right? So her speed's average. This is her bread and butter skill, to be honest. And if they buff this, then she'll definitely like spike up in the tier list. Besides that, like this isn't good, right? This doesn't build gauge, and this doesn't like really do anything except more increased damage. So this is kind of a loss of a skill. And then this one
should
is
be a 2 MP skill basically.
yeah
Now.
This should become a 2 MP 24% gauge skill.
Yeah.
It has a higher crit rate, so like that is the plus. But like I don't know, man. I just want the best of Shizu, you know.
Just want to bring out the best of my gal.
Yeah.
I think her damage is just too strong to go in A tier. Like I feel like she is the setup. Yeah, I feel like
she's kind of like the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
You have to do more damage than Shizu to enter
yeah.
S tier. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You are. If I said SS to you, be like, yeah, why not triple S? Shizu, let's move her up.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I'm game.
I still don't think she's a bad unit.
We get two more. We get like 2 more battles. You know what? Let's just. I can just move all the other battles up, right?
There's one more down there. Yeah.
I think that's it. Let's go back to our battle then. Let's just pick one at random. Alright, we'll do this one first. This is the New Year's Albedo. As an enhancer, she's fast. She's fast. 450.
Very tanky as well.
Yeah, really high defense. Her HP's nothing to sneeze at. Alright. Single target seal is kind of like a shame, right? But
it's not that bad. The ratios are quite high. The seal is the bad part.
Yeah.
But the damage itself is like.
This is her unique mechanic where she gives anyone gauge increase to party. So they're getting massive gains. This is you feel your bows off this, right? Including herself, which comes in clutch. And then she has this party buff. It's kind of expensive, but like it hits high parameters. And then you can do this buff into this buff, and then you're already at like 50% gauge or something. It's
I wouldn't say that's too expensive, to be honest. The 4 MP one.
Yeah, I guess because these are generally high.
It's 3 turns, and it's really they're actually still really high ratios. And like for 3 turns, like by the end of it, you'll only have lost 1 MP, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But like this skill's expensive, so that's why I think this cost is high.
That's the downfall. Like if you're putting them together, then yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, but then like you get this nuke, you get a big nuke, for her OD. So yeah, no, she's if you're just using her for just buffing, she's a good buffer. She's like she's like kind of like the opposite coin of Jaldabaoth, where you only use him as a debuffer, right? Except that like she opens up like opportunities to use her overdrive gaining skill, and like you could derive entire compositions out of it too. So
I would actually say she's A tier.
Yeah, no, of course. I also agree that she's A tier. I'm just trying to think. I think
like you could even compare it to Barfines. Kind of.
Yeah, I think she has more utility than Barfines.
I would agree. Yeah. I think you never really use his tank skill, whereas her actual buff is like better than his, and not only that,
also the 200. If you're setting up waves, you can use this to speed up your wave setup too. This can shave like a few turns off. Yeah. No.
Fair enough. Yeah, not a bad unit.
Yeah. Next one.
Did they buff this unit?
No, they didn't.
She gets buffed.
Yeah, she'll get buffed. She'll be strong. This isn't bad. This ratio could be a bit higher, but then she has the Dark Strength on it, so it's not bad. This one is a bit low compared to like Christmas Shizu and Kotori.
Yeah.
And then the AoE is a bit costly. You get petrification. You get a small shred. So this is like pretty decent before we hit like that spike of like better units.
Yeah. Spike of units. That's when she was actually really good at the time. Like I think one of the best AoE in the game, but not anymore.
I think maybe a bit better than Solution, but like not as good as Megumi at this point.
Yeah, Megumin, I'd value that nuke more than the Petrify.
Yeah, it's like
10% defense shred. Like I know we put Origami higher, but her defense shred is higher than 10%, and it's 4 MP, not 5. So
no, it's
or
it's
5
double
MP.
five,
No, it's
double 5 MP.
Kurumi
Origami
4
might
MP.
even go down a bit, but like,
Mm.
if you wanted to, you could theoretically put her to the bottom of A. But like at this point, I'd rather just keep her
Yeah.
top of B.
Wait for the buff.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much the mentality. And then second last one. This is the Slayer's collab, Albedo.
Big watermelons.
Naga.
Nice.
That is pretty much Naga. Okay, so this skill is really expensive now, 4 MP.
Yeah, ratios are really low as well.
Yeah, so pretty much this is the better version of it.
Mm.
And it's 3 MP. So this is if you want
Yeah.
to paralyze someone or not, this is a good buff.
Yeah,
Like, that's a strong buff.
I would
you get
agree.
the hit, you get attack, you get speed.
I would say comparing it to anyone, it would be Cocytus.
Yeah. And then she's better than Cocytus, but then like
I wouldn't
not-
say she's B tier.
yeah.
I think her ratios are too low to be in B tier, and her stats.
I feel
Like, look at her attack, 7,500 on her attack.
Maybe above Kazuma, because at least she does damage. She's doing something. Oh wait, we've got an Albedo. My bad. It is the Hot Springs Albedo.
I forgot this unit existed.
That's fair.
I forgot what this unit is.
She's a fast healer, right? She has her heal that gives bow. So this is better Lakyus heal. Because Lakyus heal gives maybe like 500 more HP, but this gives 40% gauge. So I think that's a huge difference.
Yeah,
such a huge difference. You see a lot better returns. This one is like whatever.
That 4 MP skill is better than Lakyus, 100%. That's comparable to Origami.
Yeah. And then but
Reasonably
defense,
decent.
speed. You get a giant heal, and then you get like a strong attack buff. I like this kit.
Yeah, I like the unit. That's pretty good. I would say minimum she's an A tier.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say like I think
Origami.
you can compare it to Clem, right? The only issue is she doesn't heal as much as Clem, so you're trading like overdrive gain for HP healed.
If you was to do it that way, like you already know how I value units, I would probably I would agree, right? I would put the Albedo where Clem is, and then I would move Clem down because Clem has got also to compete with what's her name, Rem, and like
if you look at stack comparisons, right? Like she's not as tanky, right? But she's faster.
Yeah.
Like she has more attack, but that doesn't really matter in terms of healer, right?
No, it doesn't.
So like, I wouldn't move Clem down.
I would actually say Clem's better because she's tankier. Like speed, you can I know we're not including relics, but you can actually put a relic on to increase speed. I know you can do that.
I think it's a better healer than Mare, but Mare does other stuff.
Yeah, I would agree she's better healer than Mare.
Yeah.
I'd hope so, at least, because she's a healer.
Well, the issue is though, like Mare can heal like 4 times, and like technically Mare can heal like 10 times in a row, but Albedo can only heal 3 times in a row. But like you shouldn't be in the shit that bad. Maybe like even like maybe below Mare then, in terms of like putting out fires. But you do have that big OD heal, so like it's hard. It's really hard to say like which one's better. Yeah, because you have access to the shred too.
I would say Albedo, because you have access to that shred, as you said, and not only that, but that overdrive gorge increase.
That's
if you need to
Mare has a better shred. Mare has a better shred, 50%.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot I had defense. I thought it was only speed.
Yeah. No.
Never mind. No, yeah, Mare is higher.
Yeah.
I'd probably move her down still then.
Yeah, maybe above Fluda, because Fluda's lacks attack.
Wait, is Fluda's? Wait, quickly look at Fluda. He's got a defense shred as well.
Yeah.
I think Fluda's a little bit better as well. I think he's like
30, no.
Yeah. Got to go below him as well. Poor girl.
Yeah, better than
I would say that. Like I think comparing it to Origami would be like the best in terms of that shred. But she has a hill on top. Yeah, that's all the Albedo's done. Nice.
Yeah. We're back to collabs.
Yeah.
On to Slayers. Let us open that now. Alright. Lina and Gory. Alright, so she's a fire attacker. Single target, she's like Samurai Demi, except that like she lacks attack and she's magic. So like that means that she's gonna get placed about where Samurai Demi is, and then like a bunch of slots down. So like that, and then she doesn't hit the attack cut, and then maybe she's a bit worse.
Yeah.
And then
there's not that many units, so
yeah, that's just a shame. And then Gory just lacks everything, dude. This guy's kneecaps broken. Like he's not a good unit. He's not a good unit. This should be free. Like this isn't awful. This is what the fuck. This isn't even about gauge. Like it's just like he's just missing so much on his kit.
Yeah.
Oh, I did close Shalltear. But TLDR, Shalltear is pretty much the exact same unit as Lina. And like, oh man, fuck it. I think Gory's awful, but
I would say he's in D tier personally. Like,
yeah, let me read Gory. Like, I think he's worse Momon. Yeah, he's just worse Momon.
Yeah,
that's
yeah. The Shalltear is pretty much the same as the unit that you previously ranked. I don't know her name because I didn't watch this anime, but I think like when they first came out, everyone basically said they're basically the same unit. Like literally,
except that she has Shining on her single target and Fireball on her AOE. So I don't know. I think that's a bit worse. Or like you can say she's a bit better because like she has better passives because Lina's more into Dragon Demon Slaying. I don't know, man. It's like a coin toss and like which one you grab.
Pick your character you want. Basically, is what we would.
I think Lina's just a bit stronger. The double fire lineup is a bit better. Okay. Kyoku, Victim, summer units, Yukata. Yeah, let's do it like that. Let's just you know what? Let's just do a bunch of Nazfest units and then we'll do summer Yukatas and then cautious, right?
Why don't you just do all the Ainz and then do like all of the maids and like all that stuff? There's a few Ainz. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the Ainz for now. Okay, you know what? Let's just go do some of that first then.
Yeah. Just do what we done with Albedo, basically. Get rid of their units, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, Victim, Kyoku. Yeah, let's just go. Kyoku, he's got AoE paralysis for 5. He's got really bad shred, critical down for 5. He's got party hit for 3. Tenacious, my boy's tenacious, but he is not tenacious enough.
Yeah, 2 evasion on passive, that's okay.
Yeah.
I would probably say he's in like C tier, like upper C tier though.
I think he's lower C tier. He's better than.
I know it's slight shred, but it's still something, I guess.
Well, fair.
Like yeah.
I think he's like generally more useful than that, but not as good as that. It's hard, man.
Actually, yeah, I would put him behind Beetlejuice because Beetlejuice is 4 MP.
Yeah, he actually trying to find with him.
He's got lower.
Victims next.
The heal is Lakyus 2.0.
Yeah, he's got this debuff, speed, hit, defense. Not a bad debuff.
I think it's a bit expensive for the ratios that it gives besides speed and the hit down. I think the defense ratio is a bit low, like for 4 MP.
Yeah.
25% would be the cutoff point for me.
I think it's better than Kyohoku.
Yeah, I would agree.
But like, it's hard. It's hard reading stuff. Overall.
It's viewpoints on hit downs and evasions.
Yeah, it's how much you value it. So then is the last one's this one,
Momon,
this one, and
this one. Yeah, that one. Those 3.
Alright, so let's start with this one, the newest one. Good speed, really good speed for enhancer.
Actually quite tanky. Like,
yeah, of course. His HP is stupid high. This is like top 3 HP.
Is pretty high for an enhancer.
Yeah, top 3 HPs in the game. Really fucking tanky defensively. Party immune, defense 100 on 5. Evasion, party damage reduction. He's pretty much like he's like Naz Yuri except for pulling aggro, right? Then he has to heal. So I think he's really good.
better than Lakyus as well. More heal, less MP. Sorry.
Yeah.
What was the last skill? Sorry.
Hmm?
The 50% attack party
Yeah,
to
it's
evade.
good.
Yeah, that's good.
He can fulfill a tank role, which is insane.
Yeah.
For an enhancer.
I would say he's like upper A tier. He's better than Barfines.
Oh yeah,
in
no,
my opinion.
I
like
think
he's in upper A tier zone.
Yeah, I think I don't want to like devalue him too much too, but like I think he's better than Frog. And maybe people lie. Like I said, attackers I always attack like lower their value overall. It's just it happens, man. It happens.
I think his kit is very flexible. The thing is, it's really hard with tier lists with this game because of enhancers. Like they're just so flexible. Like even at 3 MP heal is really
you realize
good.
this gives like 36% gauge. All his kills give large amount of gauge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like this nukes. This is one of the strongest ODs in the game, ratio wise.
Yeah, imagine using that.
This is insane.
Demon. Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. What Ainz? Yeah, he's showing his age, which is a shame because he came out like 8 months ago.
He's like Samurai Demi. That's what he's like. A little bit better than Samurai Demi, I think.
Yeah.
As you said, he's showing his age. He's fallen off now.
Yeah. That's kind of funny. This is really funny. The triple OD, but
Yeah. I mean, to me, he's in the B tier zone. Well, not that one.
Yeah, no,
I was like,
my
I got
bad.
him B tier. Yeah, like I would say he sets the bar for B tier.
I kind of want to drop Jaldabaoth down. The more I look at him, the more I want to drop him down. it just happens, you know.
Don't look at Fluda. Just leave him.
Fluda's not even on my list yet. Alright.
That's actually really high attack stat. Defense is pretty high for a healer. Attacker, sorry. Speed is actually pretty good.
Passive synergize with his kit really well.
Yeah, passive is actually really good. Actually, he's got quite a lot.
Yeah. He's got recovery cut. He's still the only unit in the game with a recovery cut.
It's very niche.
It's niche.
The ratios are a bit expensive, I think. No, actually, you know what? The ratios are okay. Like, I don't think that's a bad skill. I just think you would only really use it against people that need healing, like heal.
Yeah. So you generally don't use the skill, but like even this is a good skill.
Against people that heal. This skill, the parameters one is pretty good.
But like it gives you so much gauge. And then
so it's pretty good skill.
And his OD actually nukes and it attack cuts. So it's a good. His kit is actually really good overall. Like this is a skill you won't use often, but it has a specific use. And like this is a strong skill, and then this is a really good AOE. It has good shred, good ratios,
high shred, defense as speed,
good cost.
4 MP ratios are really high considering it's 100% elemental rate.
Yeah.
I think that's up there with Beetlejuice, but obviously with the defensive speed down. Yeah, I'd say he's a strong unit. Upper A again.
Honestly, I rate him like he's better than Naz Evil Eye. And then like
100%. I would put him there. Like again, interchangeable with the buffer debuffer Ainz, New Year Ainz.
They both occupy the same slot too, so that's a shame.
Yeah.
We get some summer units on Yukatas, which isn't awful. Summer 1, and then I think scroll down lower, we get Summer 2. Yeah, Summer 2, and then we'll get to Yukatas after. Like a healer. She has a multi-elemental buff. I think that's unique. I just don't like how it's only these ones. I feel like it should be all element buffs, to be honest. I think that'd be a lot more spicier. But yeah.
Like, speed is good.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. Everything else in terms of healer are average. First skill, low ratios.
You don't use it.
Second skill, you're never going to use it, but it's just low ratio. Second skill.
AoE heal.
I mean,
she's like the bar for bad healers. Like she's better
than Mare.
She's like proto
better than OG Mare, but I would say like B.
Yeah,
I don't think she stands in A tier. Like if I had her as a healer, I just wouldn't run a healer personally.
No. I think it's fine. Like it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing.
Yeah. Evil Eye.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's weird that we didn't really get into this, but just looking at the units remaining, do we have a lot of multi-hit units left? We have a decent amount of multi-hit units left. So like she's one of our multi-hit attackers.
Mm.
And it's pretty much we compare to
She's-
Aura.
Yeah,
And Shizu.
it's gonna be compared to Aura. I do feel like the multi-tier attackers are falling off, like the old
Yeah.
ones,
Yeah,
the ones that used to be good.
This is
Like we're gonna get into
garbage.
one
This
in a
is
minute,
okay.
Slayers.
Ratio is a bit
Uh,
lower.
Yeah,
Friggin' that's not awful just because of the bar increase. So this is like the only good skill. Rate's not bad for like this kind of multi hit, a small shred.
yeah.
Uh,
I think
yeah.
someone tested it out. Like, I mean, she's near the in between the two auras. I would say. Really? Like, because when you think about it, like,
Yeah, I
her,
think
like
she's
compared to OG aura, like her attack is like lower.
Yeah.
As in like it's 94%, not 120, whatever it is. And the defense shred is nice, but it's only magic, so you got to use it on a magic team. So yeah, I think she's in between two auras. Like she would be better than them if they take more damage to that element that she uses, which is Earth, I think.
I think yeah. So I
But
think she fits near the elemental niche units.
yeah,
Man,
Yukata Yuri.
This is
gonna be a fun one.
yeah. I like when the maids group together. Alright, so she's slow. She's tanky. She's on the low end of how useful she is. She has a heal, which is nice, but her defensive stats are not that great. This is not awful, but it's low ratio. She needs more. She would pair nicely with the new Year Ainz.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I could see that.
But she has no reduction.
She's got no defense. Yeah,
She has no reductions, which is where the tank meta really sits at now. So like,
I would say, I would say she's behind Glad Ainz in front of Solution. Like, I think Glad Ainz are very expensive. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what? Maybe she is better than Glad Ainz because although she has like 2 turns of physical immunity or magical immunity, whichever one it was, Glad Ainz like
2 stacks.
Yeah.
It's physical damage.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe Glad Ainz is actually better. And his stats are higher as well. Yeah, Glad Ainz is probably better.
Yeah.
So yeah. Move us somewhere behind in between. Poor Yuri. One that's so good and one that's so bad.
Yeah, I think the issue of Yuri is if you don't have a good defensive unit to pair her, if you pair her up with like a good defensive buffer, like even like Spa Ainz or like New Year Ainz, that she shines. But without that help, she's lacking a lot.
She needs support basically.
Yeah. Look, she's got this budget Ainz buff.
I can't remember this unit at all. This is like her and the Shizu. I can't remember what they do. Like they're like one of my more forgetting.
So this is she has a stun move, right? She has a stun move, like okay stats. She has a budget Bath Ainz buff that she heals herself and gives parameters. Very selfish self buffer. Not much to say really.
That's horrendous.
Yeah,
I think it's C tier, maybe just because of that buff. Like, I don't think she's actually that good.
I think she's maybe better.
Is like horrendous. Yeah,
there's only so much you can value. Nope, we're gonna go with this order.
No, okay. Narbe.
Yeah.
Low stats.
Yeah,
like
she hits a benchmark for speed. Though. She hits a benchmark for speed. Paralysis skill, and then she's got this buff. Not the worst buff, and then she has this AoE, which is kind of costly.
She's better than swimsuit Narbe.
Well, fair. Maybe
she's worse than Stonecut Sebas. Yeah, her stats are too low to go above that cock. And he's like, although it's 1 MP more, his ratio is a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And his attack.
We hit Shizu anyways.
Hey,
speed. She's a dark attacker. She's an int dark attacker, and that's her niche. She has shred on her skill, which is only physical though, and then buff that, and then she's a small chance to seal. She's not very good. She's cute though. She's like hecka cute, but she's not very good. What can I say? I think,
but like, I don't think she's D tier. I think she like C. Yeah.
It's a shame.
Ew.
Solution. She is
Solution.
AoE heal for 5, which is good. Single heal for 4, which is good. She is like an alternative to Lup. Can't say it's like the best alternative.
I guess so. I can see that. Yeah,
but like
without dealing damage.
This is Lup light. And
Yeah,
then she has the option to give make a unit tanky, but it's not that great. And then like she kind of like suffers on like worse stats and worse stuff across the board. Like I'd say
she's not bad actually.
No, I think she was underrated on the other tier list.
I don't think she'd be an A tier though.
No, I'm just trying to look for the first healer on this bar graph.
On B tier, there's none.
So I think that's a perfect place to put her.
Tier in B. I would say she's a bit lower. I would still, if I had all the solutions, I would use Nazarick solution more.
Yeah, but like
I think Nazarick solution's more valuable.
But in terms of I think above Lakyus, maybe above Tanya.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, somewhere next to solution, basically, like interchangeable, but like
we'll keep it like that. I think healers are more limited. Like you don't need you don't need like Naz solution as a DPS as opposed to
the only reason why is because with Naz solution she has that shred skill for raids, and not only that, but like there's limited poison units.
We've got more. We've been starting to get more. We got like Year's Aura.
We're starting to get more, yeah. Solution. Well, we got Slimeko.
We can talk about Slimeko later. Alright, let's keep going. This might be like a 3-hour video. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Alright, Entoma. Enhancer. She's party plus hit. This is better Kyoku. I feel it's better.
Yeah.
Better Kyoku.
Yeah.
And then this is only single target.
Very expensive. Yeah, that's very expensive. Did she have an evasion passive? Did she have evasion in her passive?
No, she does not.
Oh no, I don't know where I saw evasion.
I think she's a better Kyoku, maybe better than Victim slightly.
Like, I would say she's better than Lup.
I know.
Just for that buff alone.
The Lup has more damage increase because she increases skill damage and attack.
What is Lup's actual stats on her buff?
Is 25/25 for 35 plus 1 hit. So
but isn't Lup's physical only? No. Okay, no, never mind.
I think she's just below her.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We're getting to it. Fucking cautious heal collab. Alright, let's just speed this up as fast as we can without getting sloppy. Alright, Seiya he's pretty much slightly worse Samurai Demi.
Yeah, he's literally fire AoE until he gets buffed again, obviously. But yeah, fire MP, 5 MP AoE.
Yeah,
I'm assuming so because he's worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's still pretty valuable.
Restart.
He'll want ally 585. Oh, 3 MP.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
She's like budget good. She's got this really nice
this really nice OD. That's not bad.
Yeah. She's also...
I would say she's better than Solution. No, actually, I would say she's worse than Solution. The healer one that we just done.
Yeah.
You can do single target if need be. But I wouldn't say she's far off. So I'd probably say she's in B tier. Like, yeah, I guess that's interchangeable, yeah.
Yeah. I think Restart's kit is still pretty good. She's... Yeah. Valkyrie, cheaper Lakyus thing, only single buff to allies for like all parameters, and then this move is a really bad shred. Nothing too noteworthy. She's about where Lakyus is.
Yeah.
Maybe
for that one buff alone for raids, like she's up there. Like that's about it really. And this is another one of those multi-hit units that has fallen off that we're about to see.
Yeah, 5 hits, 44%. That's pretty decent. The attack stats, meh. Got some speed, got some more attack. These 120 physical.
Truth be told, what is it? 5 of 44%.
Yeah.
Was that 220?
Yeah. Yeah, 220.
That's 220.
That's not bad.
Not bad. I would probably say she's near.
Halloween.
I would say. Yeah, I would say like dead last in A tier.
What?
I
think
think
she does.
Nazarick Aura is better. Does more damage.
No, she has a higher base attack and higher passives.
But what's base attack of this?
74 or a
Oh,
71.
for 72. Yeah.
She has to be
Okay.
higher.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit above Aura, but I would still say either way is higher.
Maybe just below tanks. Right. Alright. Halloween units.
Halloween.
I think they're grouped together, so that's fine.
Which ones was it? Shizu, Solution, and
Alright, so Demi, low attack for an attacker, paralysis killer, for 3 MP, his paralysis skill is AoE for 5, for 70, no, that's 69%.
68.
68,
Yeah.
no, almost had a good ratio. Paralysis chance is pretty decent for a 5 MP, and it's AoE, so that's kind of nice. This kind of garbage, I don't like these ratio cuts, man. I really
yeah, especially when they're lower, like for attackers and stuff,
Yeah.
like I would prefer if it was like
Higher.
50% or higher. That would be better for
There's a lot of like things of these passes. There's correct ways to do this, and there's incorrect ways to do this.
Wrong way, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Valentine's Aura does it really well, but yeah. So like he's got a bit of damage, bit of AoE. He's really weak though. He's like slightly stronger than though.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be better than Evil Eye. Like his ratios are higher and stats.
Yeah.
For the same cost with paralysis chance on top of that.
Yeah, and then if you do get it, you can abuse the killer. That's fine. Solution tank. She's at the 150 provoke mark, right? Yeah, 150 provoke. Yeah. And then she has regen, which is nice. This is not bad. When you're low, it kicks in. I'd rather just have it all the time, to be honest. On tanks nowadays, I'd rather just have this all the time. She's also another good unit to pair up with New Year's Ainz.
Defense.
Yeah. Like her.
She doesn't really have any defense on her.
Yeah.
Like in like buffing ones.
I would put her maybe above Yukata. Like yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better than tank Ainz? I don't know. She has a lot of HP, but like how does
she has a lot of HP and HP regen for that HP, so I guess that's pretty good. The taunt is cheap. It's just you have to pair up with you have to pair up with someone.
Yeah.
So
I'd say maybe like,
I would say Gladiator Ainz is better personally. Yeah. He's got better typing as well, and he doesn't need to be paired up with someone to have at least one good round. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Shizu.
Good attack. No, not for me. Not for me.
No, I said second.
Oh yeah, that's a shame. Good defense though. Really good defense.
Low big HP. Defense.
For
very
the
big.
fence shred. It's a bit lower on the fence shred.
Yeah.
That's
Who's
okay.
that unit we just compared her to? Valkyrie has that same sort of skill, right?
No.
I don't know what unit it is. We just had a unit that had that same ratio pretty much.
For this? I didn't know.
No, the defense down shred. 3 MP, 155.
Yeah, that's like Valkyrie's, but like, it's not that great. This is like a Denila's. 33 hits, 5.
65.
It's not that high. It's like 1.6.
It's 165, yeah.
Yeah. Low ratio.
Yeah, and she's just too slow for DPS. Like for me,
I don't think speed is always an issue, but like she is lacking on like a lot of fronts.
I think it is because like, let's say in the end of the round, like you want to clear a round. Like if she hits last, like the enemies are gonna hit before her because she's slow.
Yeah.
So you would need like, it's just inconvenient. Like she would have to be the one to charge for like on that round, if that makes sense. Like when you're stalling.
Mm-hmm.
She can't attack. So if she's your DPS in your team, then you're relying on your tank, your healer, or your other DPS / buffer to kill.
She's
a bit inconvenient. So yeah, like, I would say C tier. I would still say she's like
yeah.
Yeah, because the other unit's got a bit of AoE above it. Like there's not many single targets in C tier.
Emperor.
Niche.
Attack's low, but whatever. I think his stats are fine. His stats are fine. overall.
Yeah,
Party buff, that's not bad.
not bad.
Kind of low, kind of
It's
low
a
for
bit
4 MP.
expensive again for the ratios.
Yeah.
Besides,
He's got
good
like
buff.
a bad shred, and then he gives 20 bow to party. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much you're giving 80 bow to the entire party for 4. But Albedo's has 40, so she gives half as she heals. So here's a nice OD too, but like I think the ratio is actually kind of low for what we given him. Like, I think he's about like these 3 stooges about level of utility.
Yeah, those 3 are like the niche units.
Yeah, they're all Naz
They're all
fest too.
together. Yeah.
So it's kind of
all heart enhancers as well. The curse.
Yeah, I'm just give me one quick sec. I'm just unit grouping at this point. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'll leave these 2 at the bottom because the 2 Shalltears. Alright. Cool. And then
I would say do Day Alive and Shield collab, and that will basically narrow it all down a lot.
Alright. Sure. Then let's move on to Shield collab.
Shield collab is like 6 units or something. 5.
Yeah, that's crazy. They got 6. Like, that's super crazy. People saying Day Alive got it good, man. Shield Hero got it good.
Yeah, Shield Hero. That was like, I think, the turning point in like a lot of the things.
Yeah.
With Naofumi, especially in tanks.
And then
he changed the tank scene.
He gave us new standards. Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, first Naofumi, really good defense, good HP. Fucking we don't even
just top tier.
Yeah, we don't need to spend time. They're like this interchangeably, 3 tanks. Yeah. That's not much to say. Naofumi's good. We've already talked about Naofumi so much. Evasion, -4 hit. That's a really good utility skill to avoid aggro. It's like poor man's Kurumi as Raphtalia. I still value Kurumi like a bit more, but like she's kind of like the budget version of Kurumi. So like I think she fits B tier. She's like Tanya, except she tries to keep you.
She's above Tanya, and I would also say she's above Solution.
Yeah.
Like yeah. I think that hit down is quite good. Like 4 hit down is insane. Anyway,
Philo 5 MP 3 MP. The like minus shred on anything. She's just a product for times, and it feels awful because the times isn't even that long ago.
Yeah, Philo was actually good until Yuri said hello, and then Yuri basically told Philo just get out of here. Yeah. I feel like Philo is like again the Wet Ainz and Samurai Demi for wind, so yeah, just a better version of him.
Yeah. Glass, big attack, really big attack. Single target ice nuker. If cosplay is here, then she's. Do we have single target nukers here?
No.
I think she's like
single target nukers are like those single target nukers are classified as multi-hit units, is what everyone's been comparing them to.
Yeah, I'd say like she's about there in B tier.
I can't remember where Sif's testing was, but I'm pretty sure Glass was above Nazora. I think Nazora is literally at the bottom.
Yeah.
So it should have to go above Nazora, or Nazora would have to come down. Maybe even that Slayer's person.
Yeah.
I need to double check what Sif's thing is.
Alright, that's fine.
Yeah.
I can respect Glass. Not a lot of people do. Luck and Terrace are next. They're both kind of like he has like a good attack with like 5 MP, 3 MP, and then she has less attack, 5 MP, 3 MP. She's evasion. And then like he has like the self buff, his minus shred, attack down, which isn't awful. These units are kind of like, I can't say like comparably close to each other, but like they both do like kind of the same thing ish, except one hits harder and they shred different things.
What was I don't know what the chick's name is. What was her ratios on AoE?
Terrace? She has 2 hits at 38, so she goes to 76, 65. And then Lakyus is 70, 65, so her ratios are higher. She has defense shred, he has attack shred. He has defense strength on his free MP. She has paralysis on her free MP, which might be the most bang for a buck for paralysis. Actually, this might be one of the better
I
paralysis
think
skills in the
she's
game.
better than him.
Yeah, of course. She's got evasion to
think,
self, magic, 10% magic,
yeah.
10% defense. He's got 10% attack, 10% speed. So like he's faster and stronger, but she's more consistent and tankier.
Yeah.
She's tankier by some. Plus, like he has like no HP, but they go pretty close together. And then
I think she would go like as a minimum in A tier.
In A tier.
Mhm.
I think
compare it to Origami.
Realistically, I don't think they're too far from Samurai Demi. Like when I say that, I mean like B tier, right? Because I think they're about here. I don't think they're too much better than Philo. They're not better than Philo. Philo's ratios are like still really good.
I think Philo and the girl should go up, or we bring Origami down. Because like Origami is basically that. Like compare Origami to that chick. I don't know what her name is. She's basically got that low ratios AoE, same defense down. Yeah.
All I know is we're just being stricter with S tier this time around. Or maybe.
No, we just haven't got to the units that are in S tier yet.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
In a minute, we're gonna be like S tier. Literally all of them are S tier.
Yeah, that's just the newer the shit. Whatever. Right? Okay. Fuck it. Let's just do day live. Origami. HP, defense, speed. It's
speed.
I hate this, but whatever. This works because it lets you tank stuff in the row. The provoke is good. The defense is good. She is pretty much S tier tank. How much do you value a DPS over tank? I don't know. I feel like we have so many tanks above her. I value them a bit less.
Yeah.
And that's Origami. Next one is Yoshinon. She is a
better.
She's like PA on crack.
Yeah.
Kurumi, attack, speed, all the stats are there, physical damage, a really strong AoE physical, stun chance on single, giant steroid, I wish that was 2, yeah. I can't say that, like, she's not super strong. It's just that, like, I can't really...
What was the ratios? 5 hits of what? 18? Not 18, sorry.
32. 3 to 5 hits.
3 to 5.
Yeah, so it goes to like 1.
Yeah, that's strong because that's like minimum 96.
Yeah.
Minimum 96.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's really strong. And yeah, stun on the first skill. Yeah, so she's definitely better than Wet Ainz. Like, so wherever Wet Ainz is, she's definitely got to go above that.
We put Wet Ainz pretty low.
Wet Ainz is already down there. Yeah. Sure.
So
I keep comparing it because of the stun skill. I would say S tier as well because the potential of that damage on that skill is insane. Like, well, it already is insane. 90 whatever it is.
The percentage chance of it is like 32%, but like whatever. We have supplement that. Toka, she's like the attack as high as Megumi, but higher. She hits hard. Really good ratios on her dark strengthen, right? And then she has like this giant nuke.
She is like standard nuke unit, I think. Yeah, she's definitely better than Glass. I feel like she's either like top of A and she sets a standard for single targets into S tier.
Yeah.
Or like she,
You think she's better than Shizu?
How the hell did Shizu get an S?
We put her as the
no, we did. I would say she is better than Shizu.
Then we might move the boat lower at this point. Okay, that's all the deal life units. Okay, let's move to Gazif.
Gazif, he's in. See, this is it. Now S tier is gonna start filling up, boy. This is where it starts going.
Yeah. Gazif has regen in his kit, physical attack in his kit. I love that. Good attack, good speed. I still say
very tanky. High defense for an attack, low HP though.
This one we can ignore. This one is not bad for the ratio. It's this thing, man. It's the crit rate on this is insane. 4 hits of 48. Good guy.
That alone is tier. I would probably put above Toga. The crit rate is really good. Yeah, I'd probably say yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Henry. Man.
She is.
Good attack for an enhancer, good HP, good
Good
speed.
speed.
Only thing she's lacking is defense, but then she has this defense buff, this party buff. She has this giant neutral multi-hit thing that hits like guaranteed 172 or something. Plus OD gauge, the best OD in the game, pretty much in single target terms. S tier.
Is big boy nuke, yeah.
Yeah, she's like
She's in S tier. I would say she's better than Kurumi minimum because it's like guaranteed to do that much damage. Yeah.
Flexibility with a kit too. I do like that.
Yeah. And the overdrive is super strong.
That was Gaz's page. Let's almost kind of
we could do 2 auras in a row. There you go.
Yeah, we could do 2 auras and then the Mare. So I might as well. Alright. So Valentine's and Christmas. Christmas aura, good attack, good speed, good defense. Well, like a bit lower defense but lower HP. That's fine. AOE 69% damage. This is like the bar, so she meets the bar.
That's like the buff. 4 MP.
Removes positive buff. 5 MP is too high. I think we got the skill like 2 more times at 4 MP, so it's not as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
This is a guaranteed crit for 2 turns after using it once, so that is
3 MP is pretty cheap as well, so you can actually spam that skill if you really want to.
Yeah, but if you
speed.
if you pair this up with this, it's not bad because then you crit on all your things, I think. So
that's a lot of damage as well. I think it's like 120, 110.
Yeah.
120.
So it's all. She's a
not a bad unit.
Yeah, I can't say for her as an enhancer that she gets the S tier like all these other units you've been promoting up. But like I'd say she's really strong as like an A tier unit.
I would say.
Do you think she does more than Mare? Sorry,
I would say like bottom of A, like dead last. Because the crit is nice and all, but you have to like time it with your overdrive. And like OG Nazarick Aura is permanently doing big boy damage.
Yeah, it's not too expensive a skill. You can stagger this. You can like crit and then like hit regular attacks twice and then do this again. And you stagger it, that she should be good continuous DPS. The buff strip. No, that's kind of expensive now.
Too expensive. 5 MP, even 4 MP. I would say is too much.
Yeah.
This day and age.
2 to 5 hits, so 62% physical damage, right?
10% speed increase. Nice.
Yeah.
Buff is actually that's a really good self buff.
Yeah, it's up there.
Huge. That's one of the best ones.
And then you get the water nuke.
Yeah, the water nuke.
And then you get
buffs.
Yeah, she's just a really good single target damage unit. If she gets more hits, like does she dethrone Shizu? 60.
If it was like 3 hits permanent, like not 2. If it was like 3 hits, 2 5 hits, then she'd be higher. I think 2 hits.
I think.
Imagine spending 4 MP and only doing 2 hits. That's a letdown.
2 to 5, and this is 3 to 7, 39. The ratio is so much higher though. I think she's better than Shizu. So like at lowest,
2 hits of 62% is what?
150.
124.
Yeah, 124, and then Shizu's
3
lowest
is 40s. That's 120.
117.
117. Yeah.
So I think she's better. She has higher lows.
On Aura?
Aura goes up to 5.
No. Yeah, she's better than Shizu.
Yeah. At this point, Aura sets Shizu goes down, and then Aura sets the bar.
Aura sets the bar. Bam. Mare, Christmas. I can't actually speak too much about this unit because
I think it's so fucking good.
I know it's good, but like I have never used it, and I don't really.
AoE hero attack crit buff on top of it. Stacking regen, and then you can give an ally like attack and defense. The best part is these are 5 turns, right? And then this is like a 3-turn buff, but whatever. It has speed so that you can actually act pretty decently as a healer. And then you have defenses to keep yourself alive. You got this giant AoE heal, and then you also get damage reduction too. So all of these are good ratios. It's awful at 1 though. At OD1, not as good, but like, you try to play around this. That's it. Same thing with Albedo's production. So I think
Yeah.
this is one of the top premium hitters in the game.
Yeah.
Makes into S tier, and then like I lower than Lub, but like maybe
I would probably put it near Origami if I was to say. The only reason is because like with the HP regen, like I know she has that heal, he has that heal skill that's like immediate, but sometimes you need that big heal skill to save something like there and then.
Yeah.
Yuri is the new and improved upgraded version of Philo.
Yeah, really good speed. Really good speed for an enhancer. So like she hits those marks. Party attack buff physical. I think this may be better than Lakyus. You lose the crit, but you get such better ratios. And then she has a shred on 4, and then she has a shred on 1. So
yeah, and they're both like really strong like numbers as well. For me, it's easy S tier. Where in S tier? It's got to be above Toga as a minimum. I would personally even argue that she's better than Christmas. What's her name? Nabe.
Do you think Toga's too high?
Yeah.
She's.
I think Yuri is like the best AoE unit in the game besides the big 3.
Yeah, that's fine. And Lub, we go to her Christmas version. She's another premium tank, right? She has the 200% provoke, 50% damage reduction. I think that's super good. This is better than 0. And then she gets fire counter. She gets evasion when she's on low. I think she's like a much better tank. She is also
0.
Than 0. I think she's above 0. I think she's above 0, but she's below Origami.
Yeah. I would say she's the standard for S tier though. So either top of A like with Rem or bottom of S with Aura.
That was particular about the tanks. But yeah, she's like the gatekeeper. Yeah, and that's Lip. Alright.
The double Shizu whammy.
And then we get the Entoma one later. Okay. So we get the Christmas Shizu, we get the other Shizu. So Christmas Shizu attack just hits the mark barely. Speed good. Defense is fine. She puts someone to sleep. If they can be slept, they'll be slept. Good buff, really good buff. And then sleep killer into combo. She's just good. I like her a lot. She does 4 hits to 65%. So she's just like I think she's better than Aura.
With this skill, does it wake him up after the first hit?
Yeah, it does.
Because it's 4 hits.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first hit will do 400% damage.
Yeah,
okay.
That's why this is so much higher than other kill skills.
I was gonna say if that's 4 hits.
No, that'd be busted. That'd be so fucking busted.
Single target unit to get.
Yeah, but she is a good single target because I think she's more consistent than Aura because Aura needs 5 hits to beat her 4 hits, right? And then I think she's consistent damage. About Gazif. Maybe just a bit above Gazif, just because.
I would say better than Gazif because Gazif isn't like it all comes down to if he crits. Even though he's got that crit increase, like if he doesn't.
She just got consistent damage. And that's kind of it. I feel like this token is underrated, but like it's hard. It's hard moving stuff AoE above single. Alright, and then we've got the new one. Good attack, good speed. Curse is kind of a mess. It just increases damage over time. Curse pretty much is like damage amp. It's like a different from a shred. It's just damage amp, not attached to other stats. And then you got the stun skill, which is so. And then you have an AoE with a high ratio, 92%, but it's 5 MP, so it's expensive. Plus for hit, plus for speed, 10% speed. I think above Ainz. And then like
5 MP 92% ratio is really strong.
Yeah, I think like
about
it is bottom of A.
So yeah, bottom of A as the 5 MP. That makes sense.
Yeah. A lot.
Damn, 5 MP AoE they're just falling.
Yeah, of course. And then we need to go to the Christmas Entoma. Alright. good speed. Plus hit, seal resist. Seal resist is kind of a shame. But hit's good. She has debuff for one enemy, which is a shame. I don't have AoE debuff. You might actually seal them, but minus hit for one enemy. Like all of this is lacking. This is her only good skill. Is this?
Yeah.
It's 35%.
And even like there's other units that are like really strong with that. Like Ainz is good in terms of that skill. Like I guess that's the best comparison.
You don't
but
have crit though. But like I think the hit's valuable on certain content. It just feels really weird outside of raid to use this, right? So like she's not awful, but like she's like kind of like
I would say the buff alone is like B tier worthy.
It's a strong buff.
And like she's got good speed as well. So
yeah, but like it feels like the rest of the kit kind of gets abandoned like a bit.
I would say like in B tier, I would say it's better than Pandora's actor. Like, come on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
we have Lakyus. I think
I would say next to what's his name?
Davidoff?
Yeah, because he's basically the same as her, but just cheaper, and like her buff, I would say is a bit more viable than his debuff.
I know. I think his debuff is universal. All right. Let's do Shalltears. Let's just leave Shiramochi these for last. Shalltears, I think, are much more fun to rank.
Yeah.
Quickly. Okay. Okay. So let's do Shalltear. An attacker, low attack, low speed. Low speed passive to make up. So she's slow. She's good HP, good defense. So she's hardy. But AoE water 72 rate kind of sucks. So like a bit lower end of the 4 MP AoEs.
It's high damage but low elemental.
This should be 2 MP. I feel like this should be 2 MP.
I agree. Yeah, that's a bit expensive and
then
not
this is 144 multi hit, good elemental rate up. It can burn. It guarantees burn, which is nice. And then burn's a good status. I think burn's a really good status. Like.
Yeah,
Burn and bleed are really strong statuses. And then water strengthen, so it does more damage. Recovery is not bad because it synergizes with a kit. And then magic attack. Yeah, no, I think she's really solid. This is nice too, if she ever gets it off. But like, I want it to do damage.
It depends how much you value burn, and where you would rank that unit on that list. Because the actual skill alone for 4 MP is actually not that high damage. The burn is what's saving it.
Yeah,
so
I'd say
the way you're placing it now is how much you value burn. I can't speak because I've never used burn, but
burn's super strong. The only thing is burn doesn't synergize. Her skill is water and it doesn't synergize with the fire kit. That's why Kotori is so much higher. Okay, and then new Shalltear. Enhancer. Then she has the speed passive, so she goes to 450. That's fine. This is the cheaper positive buff removal, so like instantly better than and then
the buff there is actually pretty good. I think
this is for only speed units, and this just makes speed units do more damage on the triangle. So it's 30% more damage against like power units and all other units. So it's actually as good as you think it is in your mind.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Next skill.
And then this is minus
4
hit to the enemy. That's hilarious.
Minus 4 hit. Oh.
And then it shreds on defense. I think it's a bit too costly. It does a lot though. It's worth. It's like a feel for the cost.
That would be a really good skill for him. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that's too expensive.
Pass is kind of wonky, man. But whatever.
Yeah, passes are out of it. Yeah, I mean, it really does depend on how much you value that speed buff.
I'd say
minimum A tier.
Yeah, I think it's got the better version of the debuff, so that's why it goes up there. As the ship buff, and then this. So it's just a good buffer and then strips, and I think that makes it like above this one for sure, the Christmas Aura. So yeah, and then maybe even better healer. I think as a buffer, she's the attack is kind of expensive, but like I think it's about there. Sphere. Okay, 3 more units to go. Just like the end of everything, so I can just sort real quick, right? All right, so Shiramochi, and then
PDL. And Slime.
Slimeko. And then
you're gonna leave timestamps in the description for this.
Fuck
for every
no.
unit.
I was gonna say, you know what? If someone wants to put the timestamps, they'll be my hero.
You get a shout out in the next podcast.
Yeah.
You pay in the comments.
Shiramochi. Alright, good speed, right? Good speed, good defense. HP's there. It exists. Right?
Yep.
Shining Thunder, Darkness Poison, whatever. I'm just.
The first skill is actually not too bad for 2 MB.
Yeah.
Like the rate
Attack
a little
shred,
bit lower, but
25%.
the attack shred is like it kind of helps it a little bit, but yeah, the ratios are like.
Solid skill, +3 evasion, +3 hit, keeps you alive longer, and then you use this, and then you nuke into this, and then this is just fucking hilarious. This is way too expensive still. I love it, but it's way too expensive.
Yeah, it's yeah.
It also has burn attached to it too. What the heck?
The rates are all so low as well. Like you need to use a hit buff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Holy crap.
This poor guy, like he tried.
Oh yeah, no, he's like a brilliant cascade. Like stat wise, like he's like the Momon of like enhancers.
Yeah.
Just, you know,
A for effort, right? A for effort.
You don't do anything. Alright, next is Sua or PDO.
Oof, look at that. Look at them. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Above average.
I wish this was free MP. I wish this was free MP, but like it gives this, so it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like
good.
This is a strong buff still. Like you get 2 shields, you get like high crit, you get attack, and you get +5 hit. Like I'm surprised it costs 4, but like it makes sense. If it costs 5, you wouldn't want to use it. But like holy shit, this oh man, that's crazy.
I mean, I get what you're saying. It's a really big buff. It's very.
It gives you so much. It gives you so much.
Time to do it is kind of worth it.
Like if the attack and the crit, that's 2 MP by itself. +5 hit. This is on like a 5 MP skill. Like giving these stacks, they're on a 2 MP skill, but they're on 2 separate 2 MP skills, right? So like if you were to deconstruct this, it'd be like 2 MP for these two, 4 MP for both of these, so it'd be 6 MP, and then like this one would be maybe just like 1 extra MP onto one of these two.
Well, a little bit higher than the average 6.
Yeah.
But the shine of this guy.
Holy shit, man, this is busted. Not to mention the stun chance procs on like 4 different hits. Yeah, no. This passive is actually super garbage. He has to be below like 1000 HP or something. It's just like, holy shit. It's hard to get chipped to this amount. If you do, it's great.
And usually you heal yourself back up, like without even like realizing. Like no one's gonna try and be like, right, this game I'm gonna get PDL down to 20% HP.
Yeah.
And then when he gets there, you'll be like, oh, I need to heal him up.
Yeah.
If he hits all the time.
Yeah.
The evasion there kind of helps.
This is good.
You do go for that strategy. But yeah, it's really hard.
It's hard to get these thresholds.
Yeah.
But like, man.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was like 30% or 40%, it'd be so much stronger. But whatever. That's just.
Moral of the story about this unit is he is probably the best attacker unit in the game.
Yeah,
I would argue. I would say he's up west, personally.
Alright, sorry. I had an issue scrolling up.
Okay. I was trying to figure out what he was trying to do.
No, like my scroll wheel got stuck. So like I think he's better than the tanks. Holy shit, he's busted.
Yeah.
And that's it, right? No one else? We're done?
You gotta do slime.
Slimeko? Yeah. Okay.
Oh god. Yeah, so slime. We discussed this yesterday.
Good. Yeah, let's finish this up. Good stats. Really strong stats for a unit, right? Nazfest stats, baby. Attacker power. So that means she's a single target unit, because like there's no good power AoEs anymore. Yeah. Anyways, poison type 145 for 4. I think that's expensive, but whatever. Guaranteed poison, strong rates. I'd rather have it for free. Whatever. Next
I think 3 MP would be like really good skill. I think 4 MP is reasonable for that.
I'd rather.
Like, you got to think a 3 MP average skill is like 130% damage.
No, but if you look at the newer units, they have 3 MP and then they have like they have like strength element strengthen on it. This gives poisons have element strengthen, so whatever. I think
that inflicts poison to do a nuke the next turn.
Yeah, okay. We'll look at your nuke. Your 2 hits, so 102, so that's 204, 150%, 100% element creator. Yeah, no, it's good. Whatever. It nukes on poison. It's strong. Like her costs are really like high. If you set this up, you're doing nothing for the next couple of turns except like whapping people.
Yeah.
Or you're
like you're doing this like what's that? What was that undead mission where you just fight Cocytus? Honor.
Yeah, okay, last skill, 3 hits of poison, 40, has shred. That's nice. All her skills are nice. It's just that, like, it's either you're gonna be using this in the regular party, where you're just, like, chipping it to add to your DPS, or you're using her poison to wombo combo. Like, you have 2 different options in your playstyle. Then all her stuff makes her hit harder. Like, 40% physical, 30% poison, and then this nukes for poison, and then makes her stronger. Slimeko, good shit. She's out in, like, a day or 2 days or whatever. Good stuff.
I think personally, like I think she's either like top of S, like she's bottom of SS. Like I feel like she sets the bar for single target DPS. I think. Like,
yeah.
You know, we said like yesterday we wanted to move Entoma down. We haven't moved her down. I don't think we can.
Happens.
She's just too good. Yeah, and then that would be. I think that's everything.
Yeah. So.
Damn.
This is the tier list. I think if you, I don't know. I think
again it could change over time once more people drop inputs.
But this is us reevaluating every single unit that is out or will be out soon in the game, together in an overall perspective. So this means this is more updated, viable version of the tier list because they're being directly compared to new units and other units in their niche, right? So, I don't know, man. This video will probably be up in, like, 2 days, because how long it will take for it to compile and upload. Holy crap. Whatever. End card. Thank you all for watching this tier list.
Thank you. Bye.
It's been too long. Okay, yeah, no, peace.